Hi, and welcome back to the Deadman campaign. As always, I am your DM Shivam, and I use he/him pronouns. And now I'll let the rest of our lovely cast introduce themselves.
Hi, how's it going? I'm jumping in, not giving him a moment to breathe.
I've given you space! I've given you space!
How dare you? Hi, I'm Nolan. How's it going? I use he/him pronouns, and I'm playing Ash, the Drake Warden Furbolg Ranger who uses he/they pronouns.
Was so aggressive.
The energy, dude.
I have the death race. I have so much energy.
My god. Hi, I'm Kate. I use she/her pronouns. I play Dea Delawai, our Water Genasi creation bard who also uses she/her pronouns.
Hi, I'm Izzy. I use she/they pronouns, and I play Elena, who uses she/her pronouns, and she is a Astamar Victor cleric.
Woo.
Hi, I'm Elliot.
Yeah.
I use he/him pronouns. That one was for Nolan.
Thank you. I love the energy.
I'm playing Onimori, our human fighter, who also uses he/him pronouns.
Hey, I'm Nemo, and I'm playing the Red Menace, the Warlock Hexblade. We both use him pronouns.
Woo.
This is a good energy we're starting
It's good energy
off
we're
with.
starting with.
Yeah, it's the hype.
When's ready, we're feral. Alright, what happened last time?
The makers still needed help finding someone who would be able to fix or hook them up with a car. Luckily, the Red Menace knew his old mechanic was in the prison. And realizing that most of Cielo's guards were certain races that matched Red Menace and Elena, the group decided to borrow some uniforms from the guards. We managed to pass off as prison inspectors to an unsuspecting guard. Red Menace and Elena get into the prison while not so carefully avoiding magma. And they managed to get Muna. Is that how you say his name? Okay.
Muna.
Muna. Sorry.
You're good.
Red Menace managed to snag the keys from the Songbird using some magnet magic. I don't really know what to call it, so that's what I'm calling it here. To help Munya escape.
It would be magnokinesis, technically.
Okay, so magnet magic to help him escape. Once we get to a safe spot, he reveals Red Menace's car that is old, rusted, and covered in graffiti. Elena and Onimori go collect some scrap metal, while Ashday and Red Menace go to Greasy Gabe's to get some particular parts. Greasy Gabe did have some potions and drugs that we could also buy and use for the race.
Some performance-enhancing drugs.
Yes. I can't talk. Onimori and Elena got enough parts for the car and more. When we all get back together, Muna explains the Ashura's real name is Dia. Shit. Dia is a daughter of Lucia that Muna and Red Menace has known since she was a baby. We fixed the car and named it the Monster Reborn, and we decided to use defensive armor for the car. And I can't believe I spelled it wrong. I thought it was that this whole time, and I gotta change all my fucking notes.
You're welcome.
That's fine.
I just suffer.
We all suffer.
Suffer
All
for
right.
your art.
And yeah, as Muna is working on the repairs, the death race is in the morning, and you guys can all get a bit of rest here before you head off.
Yay!
Even Elena long rest for the magma damage.
That magma was out to get me. Okay.
Maggot damage. I think it prevents long rests. think it's in the book
I
somewhere.
swear to
Mm.
God.
The lava congeals your blood.
You were hit by it too!
Alright, it's very important. I hit the rest button for Ash, and I hit the long rest button. There's no long rest button on Maple? I'm gonna cry.
Maple cannot sleep.
Maple can't sleep. Alright, I'm crushed. This is fine.
I got 7 hit points.
Is that your magma
Yeah.
damage?
Yeah. Hey, 7's a lot, okay?
Shut.
But yeah, as you guys begin to turn in for the night, is there any conversations you wanted to have? When it would also be outside, not too far away, if you guys wanted to talk to him before you rested.
I think Ash will go up to Red Menace here as we're all getting ready for the night.
Red Menace, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Is there any sort of elemental magic or magic that you have seen be useful in the death race before? Like, have you seen a lot of fire blow things up, or I guess anything like that?
Fire does work in most cars because we feed the horses with. I also think Shivan added.
It's fine. We shall keep going and have this
The
conversation.
horses. Okay. Yeah. We feed the tiny horses with a very flammable, full fuel thing.
Okay, so fire would be more beneficial for the race.
I think so.
Okay, noted.
Wait, no, never mind.
Oh,
Now that I remember, we are also using the Emptimite, and those are made from fire. So maybe lightning. That will ruin things. If you lightning. Lightning is the best one.
okay. For some reason, I feel like I also want to go ask your friend maybe.
Yeah, he probably knows
Alright.
more stuff.
The knowledge. I feel like he'll say the same thing though. So you're good.
Yeah, hopefully that would be very
That would be
embarrassing if he
very
didn't.
sad if he didn't.
You know what? I'm gonna accompany you just to.
I walk over to is it Muna?
Yeah.
Hello, Muna. I have a question for you.
Yeah, he rolls himself out from underneath the car as he looks up at you, as he says, "Yeah, what can I do for you?"
Did you know if the cars are perhaps susceptible to any specific type of elemental damage? Like,
Well,
are they like fire or anything?
To be honest, there's not one in particular. Amptionite is an interesting material. It basically takes in energy from around us and can store it in the crystal itself. So, any kind of elements that you use, assuming it would be enough to cause damage, probably has a high amount of energy in it. It's all going to be stored in the crystal anyways.
Okay.
Thing is, though,
Oh,
it's sort of, like a battery, like any kind of container, it can be overfilled. So, if you fill it with too much energy, in total, it could cause the Amptionite to blow.
so I mean that sounds like electricity to me. Lightning would overload that, correct?
Electricity'd work, yeah. Though, to be honest, I mean, Ambitionite's been found being powered by,
Muna.
well, the Russian...
Muna.
Yeah? Yeah.
No.
Oh,
You said electricity works. I was right.
Fair. Alright.
Stop talking, Muna.
Red Menace, you can create sparks then, correct?
I can.
Would you mind creating a small spark for me? It helps the transition better.
No. Yeah, sure. Reminisce makes the Vajra show up, turns it on, and just. Psst.
Yeah. Ash will sort of reach out and just get a little get over top of the sword, and as they get close, I imagine some of the electricity just starts to like sparks dancing across a circuit board or something. They just dance up Ash's arm very quickly, changing all of the veins to a sort of electric blue before they fade back to a rainbow. And I'm gonna change my elemental type before the long rest.
Yeah.
To electricity.
Thank you. That will help for tomorrow.
No, that's no problem at all.
Alright, have fun down there.
You too.
Alright.
Anyone else?
I would like to talk to Onimori if I could.
Eee.
Heck yeah.
Onimori, what are you doing as Elena comes to find you, I'm assuming, in your room?
You're with the Barvern, right?
Yeah.
It's probably just got his fans out redoing the symbols on them. I do that every day.
I knock on the door.
He answers. Elena, hello.
What are you doing?
Just preparing for the battle tomorrow.
What? So, you're painting?
Oh, yes, I suppose the, fans have abilities that are powered by the symbols that are drawn on them.
So what are you drawing?
Well, one is the symbol for fire, and the other is symbol for clouds.
So that means you're going to summon clouds or something?
Something like that.
I thought you didn't have magic.
He pauses. I suppose I never thought of this as magic, or as just an ability or an invocation of sorts.
She'll walk into the room and just settle down next to you. Obviously, she'll give you enough room to move away if you need to, but she's just sitting.
Yeah, he has a full calligraphy kit set out with a block of ink and some water and some big fluffy brushes.
Oh, she'll look at the fucking brushes.
They are very well loved. Just covered in ink.
Are they in a certain language?
Yeah, I guess everything that he's writing is in fantasy Japanese. Which has a name that we've definitely established at this point.
I think we've equated fantasy Japanese as just one of the languages you know. So what's the language you know?
Giant?
Good.
There it is.
Writing down some lore for fantasy Japan. Hold on.
I guess I technically have a
Christ.
third language I never picked because I didn't think anything was relevant.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's giant now.
Cool.
Fantasy Japan just goes kind of hard.
Yeah. I wrote this down in my notes.
There we go.
So what does all this say? Like, the pretty symbols.
Oh, thank you. It's not as cryptic as you were imagining, though. It just says fire and clouds. It's quite direct, if I would say so myself.
Is there any free paper?
Sure.
May I doodle something?
He hands her a piece of paper.
I take a brush. Kind of like,
It's like a calligraphy brush, I'm assuming, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's a fluffy brush. Does she care? No. I think she'll just doodle like a little cloud with a smiley face on it and little clouds on top of it.
Well, from what I remember of calligraphy, it's very, even with a brush, it's still easy to break, or is that just pens?
No, I mean, if you like stab with it, you're gonna mess up the bristles.
Yeah, she was watching him. She's not gonna just jab it into the fucking paper.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Only would be using his brushes. The moment you go to stab, he will like rip your arm off, but you're safe for now.
For now.
For now.
Anyway, she just draws like a little fire with a smiley face in it. A little cloud on top, bunch of little clouds, maybe a little sun in the corner. She'll hand it to him.
Do you have anything you would do to get ready for a battle, Elena?
You know, that's kind of why I came here to talk to you, actually.
Hmm.
Do you have a god that you follow?
Yes, I do.
Who are they?
I'm forgetting the name. Oh, I guess Fantasy Amaterasu is our
Ooh.
main deity, but there are many minor gods and spirits that all possess some power over this world.
So who is Amaterasu?
The creator of the world. She breathes life into everything, and I guess is the sun in a sort of way.
That cool. So why don't you draw the sun?
Well, the symbol for fire is quite close to the sun, but I'm afraid I either don't have the ability or it simply doesn't invoke any powers that would be useful in combat.
Okay.
There were other symbols I knew before, but I seem to be unable to invoke them at this present time. Guessing it has something to do with what Dr. White said about us having weakened over time.
Mm-hmm. So I was thinking. I was trying to figure out, you know, I'm a cleric, I think, right? I'm pretty
Right.
sure. I don't know who my god is, unless it's that lady that I saw in the paintings. But I have no idea who she is, and I don't know if it would be weird to reach out to her and be like, "Hi, I don't know you," but you know
Would
what I
your
mean?
healing come from your god?
Do what?
Would your healing come from your god?
I don't know.
It's quite the predicament.
That's why I came to ask you, how do you talk to your god?
Oh, I don't.
Why?
He shrugs. Seems maybe the gods have more important things to do. They don't really have a direct hand in my life or anyone's life, for that matter.
Tried
I
talking
wanted
to them?
to. Oh, go ahead.
Have you tried talking to them?
No.
Why?
What would I ask for?
Maybe something like, "Hey, hi, it's me, Onimori. Could you just bless us?"
Just bless us. Give us a quick little bless.
Could you like bless me and my friends so we don't like actually die in something called a death race tomorrow?
I suppose I could do that, but that does seem rather selfish of I.
To me,
To
yeah,
ask
boy.
a god to bless me, that does come with the expectation that they would be able to bless everyone who asked.
I mean, there's no hurt in asking, right?
He shrugs. Do I deserve the attention of a god any more than anyone else?
Does anyone deserve the attention of gods? Are gods supposed to be like this untouchable, unfathomable, blah blah blah? Then what's the point of, worshipping them?
That is the question. I suppose I don't worship Amaterasu any more than I worship my mother.
Well,
Meaning I
duh,
don't.
you had a mom, but
Well, I was born somehow, Elena.
please don't give her the person the
No,
piece.
I'm not going to.
What was your mom like?
Normal. Nothing spectacular.
Unimportant.
Unimportant to my backstory. Everyone was made by osmosis. I had a fairly normal upbringing. I attended school and learned the art of swordsmanship.
What was your dad like?
Likewise, he was kind and well learned. He taught me a lot of the things that I know.
Did you have any siblings?
Nope.
Why not?
Suppose my parents didn't want any other children. We were a rather well-to-do family anyway. Generally, children mean for more hands, and considering we didn't own a farm, it wasn't necessary.
You know, Onimori, you're a very simple man, but you're so, complex at the same time. It's hard to wrap my little brain around what you're saying to me.
Those seem to contradict itself, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You remembered anything about your family, Elena?
She thinks real hard.
Other than, I suppose, a potential betrothed. And an owl. Don't think you're related to the owl.
Well, there was an owl man who brought me to that church, and then there was an owl lady who helped me get ready for the wedding. But that's it. That's the only two people I can actually remember, at all.
Interesting.
I don't think they're my parents, because I'm pretty sure I'm half something else, but
Were they, completely avian?
yeah, they were like owls.
I don't think they're your parents.
Hmm. The feathers were different, so I don't think I'm from them at all.
No. That would make sense.
I don't know. Sometimes I'd like to think I come from a big family with lots of brothers and sisters and
That would
I don't
fit
know.
you, Elena.
That'd be nice.
You have a rather encompassing personality. I think coming from a large family would suit you. But we'll never know until we can have you remember that. We'll get there.
Oh, I am getting so off track because you told me about your mom and then I spiraled. Sorry, but
Oh, you had other questions.
I did.
Ah, yes.
I was going to ask, like, would it be odd, even though I haven't spoken to my patron in a long, long time, to just say hi? Or something?
I suppose being dead is a good excuse as any to not talking to someone. Onemori at that point whips out. It is a silver fan.
Ooh.
And he draws the symbol for fire on it. I'm setting up my long rest stuff, ODM.
Yeah.
And he pauses and he says, does your patron have any shrines or places of worship that you would know of?
There was a singular church with a big, big window where she was, but I have no idea where that is, and I don't know if it's even around anymore.
You don't remember anything about her, do you?
Her name is La Caballera, and that's it.
Well, maybe we could ask the doctor.
That's a good idea! I whip out my crystal.
You just call her up right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why would I not? He gave me the idea.
It's like 3 a.m.
Yeah, basically.
Are you up?
Yeah. As you ring the doctor up, she answers as she says, "Oh, hello. Do you need something?"
I have a lot of questions, but I'll bring it down. Do you know a goddess called La Caballera?
Well, I do know of one.
That would make sense for a goddess.
Vaguely. As she says, the only thing I've heard is that she was a patron saint of war, a symbol of leading people into battle, of victory at any cost.
That would be rather useful for tomorrow.
Sorry, I'm writing it down.
Mhm.
Cost.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Have any... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask. Do you know if there's any churches or anything?
I mean, there probably are some. I'm a little to give too much detail as to, as I'm a little worried about what it could trigger.
You hear
But-
Oemori go,
But if you'd like, I can maybe find a little bit more information and try to see what I can give you about it. If you give me a little bit of time, I can maybe figure out some information I can give you that hopefully isn't tied to any proper memories.
Okay, sure. Just whatever you think would help. But that was all my question.
do you have any ideas of things we could offer to her? Traditionally.
Well, as she kind of just like shuffles through some books, she says, so it is very traditional to... It seems that the main offering is to offer blood at her shrine.
Oh, that's not creepy.
This would make sense.
Indeed.
Okay. I will think on that. But thank you. We're going to race tomorrow in the death race, so wish us luck.
We will not awaken any dangerous memories in the meantime.
Yeah.
Yep, just let me know if you need me to research into anything else. I'm currently trying to figure out at least a little bit more information on the Titan, maybe how the actual machinery itself works. Try to give you guys a little bit of an edge there.
You could offer us any weaknesses, that would be ideal. The Red Menace is planning to go in exactly as he went out.
Hmm.
You said this thing ran on amps,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Is there like a weakness to amps? Like kryptonite or something?
Well,
Not that I know what kryptonite is, but
yes-ish. As far as I've been able to research here, Amptionite can be overloaded by pouring too much energy in it. However, therein lies an extremely distinct problem with this Titan. If the Amptionite is all overloaded at once, and that overload is kept unbound, there would be a tremendous explosion.
oh,
As in, you guys would have to be very distinctly far away activating it in order to do so. That's only
Get
if
Ash to
you
do
were.
it.
Yeah, that's only if you went in with the extreme express purpose of trying to overload the crystals. I guess
where
it's a
would this
thought.
Where would
Well,
this be?
That would be in the core itself. And as far as I know, it is protected by plating. So, if you
We'll
could,
remove the plating.
yeah, remove the plating, lure it away from the city, and then fire a massive high energy blast into its core from very far away. I mean,
The conic bow was designed for the removal of armor.
okay. If we feed Maple a lot of pancakes and she gets really big at once, maybe she could. I don't know.
it's a thought. I mean, I suppose it's at least one plan. I'll look and research if maybe we can find some others.
That's a good idea.
Mhm.
Put that in a pin.
Yeah, I'll put. I'm putting a pin in that one, and I'm placing it off to the side.
But okay, thank you, Doctor.
Mhm.
And go to sleep now. I didn't realize how late it was.
Yeah, she kind of gives like a bit of a tired smile. She says, "Yeah, I will soon."
I squint. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I do want to put in the research for you guys. I mean, you.
Bup, 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 bup. Sleep is important. You can
Actually, I
get
would
up early.
appreciate if you did the research first.
Away.
Yeah, research first, then I can sleep.
That's not healthy.
Onimori just turns to Elena.
That same old expression.
Yeah.
God. Well, I'll leave you guys to it then, and if you don't have any more questions.
Okay.
No.
Good night. I hang up.
We should talk to Dea. She seems to have a connection to the gods.
It's a good idea. Huh.
Contact you, Goddess?
She said she was like an oracle or something.
Yes, she apparently can speak to the gods, and I think if we're looking to speak to a god, that simply makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you clean up your pretty brains, and I'll go find Dea.
Okay, that happens.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Hi.
What is
What
it?
is Dea doing?
Where is
Just-
Dea?
She's probably just been.
Mhm.
I mean, if we had some free time during the night, I think Dea probably would have attempted to find a bookshop of some sort and probably see what lovely things that she has missed out in the past X number of fucking years.
All right, you
Blues.
They are just buying smut.
Oh my god. Yes.
you find a bookshop. It's mostly just like pulp fiction and
It's
like.
mostly smart.
It's mostly.
There's a
smart.
non-zero percentage of smut.
God. I think Dea is probably going to immediately head to the shopkeeper and hone in on them and go, alright, one question. Do you
Yeah.
have any history books here? Or is this a useless pile of paper that you own?
Well, I guess we have a handful of them. As he looks to a he leads you to an extremely dusty corner of the shop where it's very clear very few people are visiting. You can see that he has 2 or 3 history books. If you make some kind of roll, you might be able to find a history book on a subject you're looking for.
I mean, let's see. Perception, garbage, probably not. I would think maybe history would be the only thing.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Mm-hmm. Just
Just
like
looking.
general world history, or like?
I mean, I don't think she's looking for. Oh, what's the word? She's not looking for a broad history book. She's looking for a few specifics.
Yeah. Here, I'll give you this. Ask a question, and I might give you a book that might answer the question.
Do you have any books about the Valelis Empire? It's stuck.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Fucking straight perception. Fuck
Yeah.
my life.
It's
Oh,
a-
wait. Oops, I gave myself advantage. That's my bad. I'll take the first one.
First one, 15.
It was.
First one was the 15.
Can't tell, so I will take it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you write down what you said what you're looking for?
She was looking for books about the Valelis Empire.
The
I will-
list.
I am currently
Thanks,
spelling it for
homie.
you.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Oh, God. I'm trying to figure out here. Yeah. I think you do find something very important. As you see him kind of pull out a book, he says, "Well, I guess there was an old children's story." As he says, I mean, I don't know how much use this is gonna be to you, but I guess there's this. As he hands you this very ornate-looking children's book, you can see as it has this very fanciful lettering on it, and as you look at the image that is currently drawn, you can see, as you realize, the image is of a very cartoony version of yourself.
Oh my god.
Your head begins to throb, though, a little bit, just looking at it. You might be able to read it, but it might have pretty bad consequences to do so.
She's gonna just add it to her picked up list. I think if she's found a storybook, maybe some other fairy tales of the sort to add to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do so.
So, how much gold will it be for all of this? I'll mark that off to be fair.
5 gold.
5 gold? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But now, having this, is there anything else of note on there? I know it looks like cartoony her, but as she's probably leaving the shop, she classically wipes off probably an inch of dust off of it.
Yeah. As you do so, it's a similar kind of feeling. Again, as you kind of begin to scratch off the dust kind of that's on the title there, you once again, you can kind of feel your head begin to throb a little bit as you look at it. Would you like to look at the title? Because this might cause you a little bit of mental damage here.
We're gonna take a long rest. Do it.
I think Dea would at least fuck around a little.
Oh god.
All right, you gotta know. Oh god.
It's not gonna heal overnight, is it?
I'll deal with the consequences of that.
As you read the title, you can see that the title is labeled the I need to look up the Lyre of Valel. Can you pronounce the Empire name?
Basically Val Ellis.
Val Ellis. Yeah, you can see the title is the Lyre of Val Ellis.
What?
As go ahead and make me a wisdom save.
Oh shit.
That's my how the fuck do I have to do a save?
If you click on wisdom, it should say check or save.
Oh, that's interesting. Alright, wisdom save. I am not a wisdom person.
So one. Oh god.
Is it L-I-A-R?
The one who tells untruths, or liar as in the instrument?
Yeah.
Untruths.
Okay.
Yeah. As your head begins to feel like it's almost splitting. As there's all these sorts of like random angry memories that begin to pop up in your mind. You feel one in particular just like really just kind of creeping up as you see in your mind this fire genasi woman just looking down at you sneering as she says liar. And as she does, you go ahead and let's see here.
You die instantly.
Roll me a D4 minus 1.
D100, no.
God,
This is gonna be stat damage, I know it. I can sense it.
But yeah, I went outside.
2,
Okay.
1. Okay, you got lucky. You only take 1 level of exhaustion as you lose half of your HP.
Oh shit!
You can sleep it off, let's go!
You can sleep that off, thankfully.
Hey. Either way, I was on my way, so I could have got you. It's cool.
What?
Yep, you sure did. Let me
Mhm.
Ouchie.
make sure I do the math right in this. I'll round down for this.
God, that's spooky.
I think though, after getting that mental image,
Yeah.
it probably grips the book a little tighter than one normally would. Just probably just grinds her teeth.
So,
God damn it, Nolan! I see that on my other monitor.
That's so fucking good.
You gotta put that on stream now though. But I think Dea just grinds her teeth as she just goes, "Fuck you, Nicoletta. I hope you are down in the deepest pit of Tartarus."
Dude, I want this tea!
As you head back to your room.
Yep.
As
I'll be reading the safer ones for fun though.
as it heads back to the room, this is what I had just posted that they were referencing. You up?
What's funny is Elena's just not that kind of person. She's just fucking stupid.
For all we know.
You know?
This is true.
Elena and Onimori, did you go with or not?
Oh, we were probably when that was happening, we were talking, and then we're like, hey, let's go find Dea. And as we're walking out, she's walking into her room.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we were just looking for you.
Well, congratulations, you have found me. And what do you need?
You talk
You
to
look
guys.
like you've not been doing well. Imagine she just like, you know,
She looks
like
frumpled.
the Red Menace after finding out his thing.
The heat here. I am used to warmer temperatures, but this is just smoldering. Stuffy.
Insight check.
Oh,
Do I have to roll? Let's see. Is it
Deception?
Deception?
deception, yeah.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Get out of here.
Both of you managed to definitely see there's definitely something else beyond the heat.
Yes. The heat. We did have an alternative motive for seeking you out, though, Dea. Due to your ability to contact the gods.
I believe Elena is misremembering. I speak for the gods. I do not talk to them, nor do they talk to me.
Huh.
Not comprehending, Onimori stares forward for about 2 seconds. And he says, yes, as a cleric, we believe Elena would like to speak with her patron before our battle tomorrow.
Do you care how? There are probably a few ways that you can at least relay a message without knowing who they are. Because I'm sure you do not know who they are, do you?
So I know 2 things. Is one, her name is La Caballera, and 2, we talked to Dr. White, and she said that she likes offerings of blood. And now she's like the goddess of, I wrote this down, victory, and patron saint of war. So
That is all we know currently.
I don't know if you knew anything I could do to, like, I've never, well, I guess I can't remember if I've ever prayed to a god or offered my blood or anything,
Yes. I suppose a general offering would at least be useful. Some of the ones I generally do, either the best portions of the meals that I have, I offer to them in whatever fire
No, goddamn.
that I can find at the time. Or, if I'm lucky enough, I'm able to get a fresh kill from a butcher or a local hunter, and I use that instead.
There is a fireplace downstairs.
Then for your dinner meal, or perhaps for breakfast, choose the best parts, the ones that you wish that you could savor the most, and offer it into the flame for them.
Oh, the middle part of a cinnamon roll. No.
Oh no.
And they get to enjoy the cinnamon roll.
No, I guess that's fair. Okay, I'll do that tomorrow morning. Would it be weird if I put my blood on it? Because that's what the doctor said, so...
Maybe if you fucking did it around others, yes. We are in a public space. I don't know.
So not... Okay.
I might have some spare scrapped paintbrushes I use for rougher pieces of art that you could perhaps draw something for them in your blood, as interesting as that does sound, and perhaps burn that.
Oh. I mean, I could just kind of finger paint. I feel like that would work, so I don't have to waste your pretty brushes.
Then you finger paint with your blood. Is
Okay.
there perhaps a symbol that you could do?
Yes. Yes, I think so. Onimori, do you have any more scrap pieces of paper that I could use?
Memori turns and walks away.
Steady.
Like a piece of paper.
She, I guess, takes off her ring and uses the little thingy to, like, poke her finger with blood.
Mm-hmm.
And then she will draw a sword and 2 wings.
Now, as you do so, concentrate on the message you wish to send. What do you wish to convey to them? What do you wish for them to know? And as it burns, it shall be sent.
Do I say it now while I'm drawing it, or do I say it while it's in the fire?
I would say think of it. But yes, in both instances. As you create it and as you offer.
Dear La Caballera. She's just gonna say it out loud. Sorry, I don't remember you very well. But I hope the blood is good for you, that you like, I guess. If you could just maybe bless us for the race tomorrow so we can win and kick the Titan butt, that would be cool. Thank you, from Elena. And she'll
Yes,
go
and I also
downstairs.
have a pony.
P.S. What I say? I will give you the middle part of my cinnamon roll. And then she'll go downstairs and throw it in the fire and same thing.
Amazing. Alright. Is there anything else to wrap up the scene?
No, that's all I.
Well, I'm going to go sleep.
Me too.
We
We all-
leave.
I'll sleep.
Thank you, Dea, for your time and expertise.
Yeah. As all of you guys rest up, then getting ready for the death race in the morning.
E.
And as you sleep, Dea.
Ooh.
Shit.
You dream. And as you dream, you suddenly see yourself on like the shore of this beautiful sandy beach. And as you look out in front of you, the ocean looks clear as the sun hangs high in the sky. As today seems like at least a peaceful day. What are you doing out here on the shoreline?
Well, as she starts her day, or at least is in the middle of it, she is most likely going to be spending a good bit going in and out of the water,
Like if it's
going on her dives on the island that she lives on, collecting odds and ends from the bottom of the ocean and other fish and various bits, and bringing them back for the inhabitants who cannot do so, for them to buy, as she earns her living.
Yeah. And as you do so, you make dive after dive, gathering all kinds of shiny pearls and all sorts of bits and baubles. As you make one more dive into the water, you see this colorful array of fish as they swim around like this coral reef. And as you do so, you can see that like as they kind of like duck like in and out, there seems to be like almost this opening underneath the coral reef. Perhaps there could be something of value in there.
Yeah. Usually nature is a really good indicator of all the nice little hidey holes and where things can get stuck into, so she'll probably make her way over and start looking for a little spot.
Yeah. You begin to swim through this narrow little cavern, the coral surrounding you, as you can see the all the animals and fish just kind of like swimming around you. And as you do so, you find a veritable jackpot, as you can see just all these shiny pearls just like glistening on the ocean floor. I assume you gather them up.
Absolutely. They go
Yep.
into her bag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do so. As you can hear the faintest rumbling from around you. As you can see, like, the ground itself, just from around you, begins to split open a little bit, as something is just beginning to generate air bubbles, like, in front of you.
I gotta back away a little bit. This doesn't seem to be the safest anymore.
As you back away, from behind you, the same thing happens as the ground splits and air bubbles begin to shoot out. And you can see just like the ground now like splits in like this pattern that completely surrounds you and cuts you off. As you can begin to feel just the slightest amount of like heat coming from these thermal vents. And as you do so, the heat begins to surround you, as you feel yourself just becoming warmer and warmer, almost to the point of like becoming dehydrated, as you feel yourself like becoming woozier, and you feel yourself kind of beginning to lose consciousness at this point.
I think she would. Feeling that, unconsciousness has come along, probably might not be the smartest idea, but it's better than staying here. Double checking which direction that she, made her way into the crevice, and going to make the bad decision to dart through all the geysers.
Yeah. You do so as a surge of pain flares through your body. And as that pain flares through, you suddenly see something else within your mind. You see a person that you do not know in the middle of town, in like a building that you do not know the inside of. As you can see, the person has been like tied up, very clearly kidnapped. And you know it. You know for a fact where that building is. And you know for a fact now that a person has been kidnapped inside of that building. But you can't fully tell why you know that. I mean, by all accounts, it doesn't make sense that you would just have that information.
As she probably comes back out of it, she's like blinking a little, trying to come to her senses. Is she at least on the other side of the geysers?
Yeah,
point?
you are now. As you can see, the geysers have suddenly stopped.
I think she's probably going to immediately just head straight home, not do her last drop off of the day. As she probably emerges and there's a little bit of a crowd, she'll probably just yell out, "Sorry everyone, no more dives for the day. I'll do double tomorrow. I promise. Bye." And she's just grabbed her stuff that she left on the shore, hurriedly throwing on her tunic over her swimsuit, and she's running to her home on the edge of town. She makes her way up this dirt path that she has walked hundreds of times, worn down from around like this waist-high grass, as it just flows like really gently in the ocean air as she makes it to her little hut. It's made of stick and grass, and it's a tiny little thing, but it works for her. And she'll make it inside, and the thought that she's had the whole time is, I need to put this down, or I'm probably gonna forget this. So she's looking for her paints. She has to shoo away some of the cats that are around. There's a large brown and black fluffy tabby just kind of sleeping on her very rudimentary paints box as she picks it up and goes, "Pomegranate, no, I need these. Woof, woof, woof." As she quickly attempts to try and get the thought down onto her paper.
Yeah. your brush strokes begin to hit the canvas over and over again. As you suddenly just are with almost like your body moving by itself. You have painted a portrait of this person as they seem to just be like what you can tell to just be kidnapped in the middle of this building. And there's a thought that surges through your mind over and over again of, well, I mean, that can't be true, that can't be true, that can't be true. But there's one more thought that also surges through your mind. What if it is?
She's probably pacing a little bit, looking at what she's made. As she probably decides if something bad is happening. I mean, she has to do something about it. She can't just sit there. So, grabbing it, probably some of her catch for today, probably some of the pearls, and she's going to run back into town and find one of the fishermen that she knows that does go to the mainland every so often. And she's made it to his house. His is most likely on the edge of the village, on the edge of the island. His boat probably hardly even like 20 yards away from his house, as she's just out of breath, going, like, fully panting, like, Mr. Verdina, Mr. Verdina, I need you to do something for me. I think someone's in danger. I don't know who it is, but... And she just, like, thrusts the painting in his face, and she just goes, I need to get this to the mainland. I don't know who could help, but I need someone to know that isn't just me. I have half of today's catch. I can pay you for it if you can leave right away. I think they're in danger.
Seeing the desperation on your face, he agrees. And you head to the mainland, and you take him to the place you saw in your vision. And as you open the door, the vision is true. As you snap back awake, remembering what it was like to have visions for the first time.
It's probably bittersweet. Since she hasn't seen home in so long.
Yeah.
But it's a reminder of something that she would never give up, though.
There's the art.
Oh, that is why Izzy called her the thickest bitch
The
in the
thickest
sea.
bitch in the sea.
I think everyone deserves to see the thickest bitch in the sea. Let me...
Also, that hand took me too long.
Hell yeah. Godspeed, Izzy. Very good. But yeah, I think she would just probably mull over it as she's getting ready in the morning. John, you did not just say je ne sais.
Terrible! Terrible! God.
He's a child at this point. I'm sending the FBI to your doorstep.
What? What?
Oh no.
What the fuck is happening?
The ope is a I'm taking that back ope.
Oh, fuck.
You all gather up for breakfast.
I give up the middle of my cinnamon roll like I said.
What are you doing?
They
Those are
had
the
told-
best parts.
I know, they had told me
Those
to
are
do
the best
this.
parts.
I know.
What
They
if she
had-
What if she wants her god to answer her? This is a good
What's
way
a
to
what?
get to favor again.
Oh, you
Her
have to
god,
give food to people before they answer you.
It is a
That's-
way to thank them for what they
Are you
give.
bribing God? Isn't bribing a sin?
It is an offering.
That sounds like a bribe.
Do people usually give you answers if you give them food?
So I wanted to try it. I don't remember my god. I asked Dr. White and she said give her blood, and I'm like, oh, that's okay. But then there's like also,
Blood?
yeah, it's a long story.
Why do you want
Apparently,
to talk to
Elena
someone who needs
worships the
blood?
god of.
I don't know. Look, it's all I can remember. And Dr. White said some people would give my patron blood as an offering. And I was like, okay. So I did a little doodle in my blood, like a little finger paint, and I did that. And now I'm gonna give the middle of my cinnamon roll, unfortunately. So
What?
we can win today.
What was the name of her god? Maybe one of them was.
La
No.
Caballera. Apparently, she was a patron saint of war. Let me flip my notes back. Patron saint of war, leading people into battle, leading victory at any cost. Yeah.
Out of curiosity, Shivam, were any of the other storybooks Dea picked up anything related? Anything close?
No, you mostly just find it's fairy tales about like the legend of Orpheus and Eurydice.
Ooh.
What's the other Greek fairy tales?
Hercules,
Yeah,
Medusa,
Hercules,
Circe.
Fantasy Hercules,
Yeah.
Fantasy Medusa.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Redman being from a little further in time, would he know anything? Would he have heard something about a Caballero?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a history check, and we'll see.
Oh boy.
You got this, buddy.
Use those big brain cells of yours.
I haven't.
The third session in a row, you've rolled a nat
That's a
1.
0.
I'm not kidding.
Well, that's
I'm
unfortunate.
wasting all of them now.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you took a long rest, so you're good, Dea. You're no longer half elf.
Oh, you're right. I need to re-click the button because I did it before all this.
There.
Let me just cleanse this.
Cleanse.
You're so lucky with that roll.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, yeah, it could have been real bad.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah.
Well, I guess. Are we all ready for a death race?
I mean, I am.
She's shoving the rest of her cinnamon roll into her mouth. Yes.
Muna, how does the car look?
Yeah. As he takes like a tarp for dramatic effect as you guys head out there. He pulls it off as you guys can see that the monster truly is reborn. As it's now this very it's this badass looking vehicle with decals painted by Dea all along the side, and this defensive iron plating that'll keep you guys in the race. What did you roll sleight of hand for?
Giving Maple a pancake.
Maple's not even summoned right now.
Oh shit! Never mind then.
I had to
Keys of
unsummon
dice.
Maple because we're in town.
No anymore, he just slides a pancake under the table and it lands on the ground.
Just bop.
Damn.
Just hear a wet slap noise.
I rolled over 4,
Good.
so I wasn't exactly stealthy.
Oh man.
Well,
I mean, we are in the Barben. We should be hearing those kind of stuffs. It's a little early in the morning,
Terrible.
I
but
have
we
no
don't
idea
judge.
what that means.
Better you don't.
Okay.
Good for health.
Are we good to go to the death race then?
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you guys are ready, we can get out to the starting line.
Oh, let's go.
Should we
Alright.
take our break?
We go!
What's our car look like?
What does it look like?
We know what it looks like.
Oh, but it's
Do?
upgraded now.
Yeah, we
Do
do.
we know what it looks like? Do we?
I'm pretty sure we do.
I'm
Oh,
like
fuck.
80. We do, because I posted that on our Instagram
But
and
do,
our
but
TikTok.
but do we now?
Do we?
Oh shoot, do we?
Oh, do we?
Show us the car. Stop having it be hidden.
God.
Give me the map.
As well, first I gotta post this because there's something in between.
Oh,
I'll
shit.
go ahead and post the car without anything else first.
Ooh. God damn it, I posted the wrong car.
No,
Now
it's
there's
fine.
new car.
Mhm.
New car.
Alright guys, you got
Yeah.
a new car.
That's sick.
As
New car.
yeah, as you guys begin to head out your way to the starting line, Gay, I hate to pick on you, but
Nope.
Yeah?
there's one more thing that happens to you as
Oh,
you guys
no.
head our way out.
Making a way.
Dea, you begin to kind of like clutch your head for a second. You feel a rising warmth within you.
Just the float.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's been a
Your
while.
vision begins to blur as your head feels a little bit faint. As
Yeah, she's
No, sorry, go
probably. I was gonna say she's probably stopped moving to at least steady herself some.
mm-hmm. Yeah. As Dea, here's what you see.
Shit.
Shit.
In what you can see is this extremely ornate castle. You see the Ashra as she strides along, looking forward. As there is a figure in the shadows at the other end of this dining table that the Ashra approaches. As the figure says, "My, just how lovely it is to see you." As the Ashura just very gruffly replies, "Wish I could say the same about you. I'm just here for the gold, and you better make good in making sure the water supply here stays clean." As the woman in shadows replies, of course, and what a useful little tool you are. So much so that I can't stand you not being completely under my control."
Oh shit.
As you can see that like the chair the Ashra is sitting in suddenly activates as it just begins to restrain her, as the Ashra like just suddenly thrashes against it. The woman steps out of the shadows as you can see her jam a syringe into the Ashra's neck as the Ashra slowly begins to slump over. As well, who you can definitely tell would likely be as the woman from the shadows just kind of says, "A strong warrior like you would be unstoppable under my command. All we have to do is remove that pesky free will of yours." As you can see, the woman begins to pull out a hacksaw. Blood splatters across her face as she saws through the Ashura's body, dismembering piece after piece as she laughs. And as you can see her put machinery into the Ashura's head, or at least what remains of her head, you are forced to watch all of it, just like in all of your visions. As you suddenly snap back to attention, bleeding a little bit from the nose.
Fuck!
I didn't like.
We're still on our way to
Yeah.
the car,
Mhm.
right?
Did I notice
Yeah.
that Dea like stumbled a little bit?
Does any of us?
I think you would
Yeah.
all notice that like Dea is kind of like slumping a little bit, and I think you would very easily notice that like there's a profuse
blood.
nosebleed she has.
I'll grab a handkerchief and just kind of push it to her nose.
Yeah, the pollution does that to your nose sometimes. I'm so
I think
sorry.
we need to hold her upside down. That's what you do in a nosebleed,
You-
right?
No!
That would make it worse.
That makes sense. You know, it stops the blood from going.
Only Mori, we still have that
It-
water, right?
The blood stays in the place it should.
I hand Elena a bottle of water.
I'm gonna help Ash to turn
While Red
Dea
Menace is
upside down.
We're not. I will hold on to Dea.
Don't you fucking touch me. Do not.
Oh,
Okay, sorry.
Right.
Do not. No, the ones who wish to lift me upside down.
Just wanna help.
sorry.
I
This,
hand her a bottle of water.
this was not the pollution. It has been a while. And of course, the contents are not going to be great, just like how it was at the end of my stint. I think I saw a future, a vision of what might happen should we fail to assert the Ashra from her winning arena position.
I mean,
Turns
sorry, go
Turns
ahead.
out, Menace, Muna. I'm sure you, at least Menace, are not aware of this. But Muna, are you aware that your little friend is a mole of the Baronessa?
Wait. She's working with the Baroness or La Baronessa? I mean,
My visions do not lie, regretfully. Her and Big Bitch Robot apparently have a deal going on. She takes the gold, so no one else challenges her, I'm assuming. But it seems her time with this engagement was over. Seems like Baronessa wanted more of a loyal follower. Seemed fit to cut her to pieces to make her some new bastard mechanical mess that would listen.
Well, I suppose we have no option but to win now.
That's already what we're gonna do, but Moonen, if what they're saying is truly, that kid's fucking rat.
If it at least appeases you a bit, it appears she has been doing so, to at least preserve some of the living conditions of the inhabitants of the city.
It
Seems like a
seems
sour deal around.
I'm sorry, you guys go ahead.
Seems like a sour deal around.
It seems like what I had said to her before may have been true. I believe her morals may be compromised.
Very much so. Now you, Muna,
Yeah.
she is not a fan of us.
No.
But if you at least wish to give her a warning, I think you would be the best person to do so. But leave out a good handful of the gritty details I mentioned.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, you can see that he just looks extremely pale and grim.
It is never easy when I get one of these. But the only good part is that by getting these, I get an inkling on how to prevent them from actually happening.
Yeah. And we're not gonna ever let that happen. As he kind of looks to you, Red Menace, for assurance.
Redman's looking down. Turns back to Nolan. He gives him a quick nod.
As you guys pull up to the starting line, I think this is where we're going to take a 15-minute break. Alright.
We are.
Do we all want to do?
That was the best history fact
Oh, yeah,
up
fun
until now,
facts.
Nolan.
Oh yeah, it's
Good
my fun
job.
fact time now.
Oh yeah.
Fun fact, guys.
Fun.
Ash is curious to a fault. Once he saw an interesting flower within like a tangle of vines, and tried to get to it, only to fall and get trapped in the vines for hours, because he could not free himself until he was found later by hunting parties.
I love that one.
Good.
Guys, help.
Rainbow energy.
Very good.
Thank God I'm not corrupted, didn't show up.
It could be in this chat set.
God.
But it keeps
For Dea's fun fact, so she used to house stray cats around her home to have them basically be her pest control. She named them all after fruits that she would try.
We met
Pomegranate.
pomegranate.
Yeah, pomegranate was good.
Yep.
Is there...
There's
Okay.
quite a few of cats. Are you asking me to name a few more?
I was going to say, is the chunkiest one named Watermelon?
I don't know if she would have had watermelon at that point,
you're
but
right.
there was watermelon, fig, apple, pear. There was Peaches. Peaches is another good one.
Very good.
I would die for all of them.
Mm-hmm. Busy?
I like this.
Elena?
Elena once gave one of her feathers to a child who thought she was an angel.
That's cute as hell.
Yeah. Cute fun facts all around.
Elena,
Elliot?
Oh yeah, cute fun facts all around. Hi,
Yeah.
can I have a mouse? Thank you. So, speaking of cute fun facts, there was a time when a rival warlord wanted to essentially take Onimori prisoner by intercepting him when he was out on his own and taking him and sicking a group of samurai on them. So they sent out a small squadron, follow his schedule, and then take him out, drag him out back, take him back to their base. And that was the plan. They went out, and then a week later, the warlord received back one horse with the heads of all of the samurai tied to the horse, and a handwritten note from Onimori's warlord saying, "Thank you for the horses and the weapons."
That's so
Very
good.
cute, very wholesome.
That's
Yeah.
that's just
So nice.
fucking savage.
Oh my god, amazing. Nemo?
The Red Menace's first vehicle for the death race was a rocket-propelled skateboard. He was doing pretty well until he tried to kickflip and broke every bone in his body.
I think that's my favorite The Red
That's
Menace
so
fact
good.
so far.
God, I really love the idea. My personal headcanon is that the first time he tried the death race, he was set to win, but then like he did the kickflip and just ended up getting dead last because of it. Like he just got greedy.
He's just a smear on the road after that. Because you know, if it continues just going very fixedly straight, you can handle like the shitty center of gravity, and you know exists. But the moment it like lifts up on the ground, I imagine like a poorly done physics render, it just starts flailing around wildly.
Fucking
Dude, but what would be the point of winning the death race with a skateboard and not kick flipping?
Yeah, honestly.
You know, he knew.
That's fair.
It would be a Pyrrhic victory.
every
What
morning
does it
I
matter if I don't
drink
stunt on these fools?
Yeah. All right, I want a death race. Death race.
Death race.
Death
All
race,
right.
death race.
Seems it's death race time, huh?
Maybe.
Death race. Death race.
What is it?
As shit, I need to update the car. Hold on. Well, you guys all pull up.
At the party.
Post
At
up.
the party. You post up. As I quickly fix my map.
That's okay.
As you guys approach a little bit closer, you guys can see that people have gathered around the starting line. As you can also see there are a handful of guards from Cielo that have shown up. As Muna just kind of like curses under his breath and kind of like puts his head down, he says, "Okay, this I think I'm not going to be able to get much closer than this, but here, I managed to grab this from Greasy Gabe." As he holds a crystal to you guys, he says, "You guys also had a crystal, right?"
Yes.
It's
Okay.
magic.
I can go ahead and grab your guys' number then, and I can feed you guys some instructions and the like during the race.
What is our number?
2.
3.
Oh.
3?
No, yours is 3, not 2. I got 2.
Oh, dang
Oh.
it. I want it to be 2.
Sorry, I'm 2.
Ugh.
Stupid. Oh god.
How dare you? Why can't you just let me be 2?
No, you can't have it. Oh god. But yeah, so let's see here. Sorry, I'm like attempting to fucking fix my.
Not allowed. Ah.
There we go. As he also says this, but in addition, because I can't get much closer, can any of you guys warn Dia? I mean, I want her to know, you know?
Red Menace, I think maybe you should.
Yeah, I was thinking that she also hates my guts, but we could.
I
Yes, we can let her
would
know.
have
Yeah.
an opinion. I think the Redman, she resents your lack of presence, not you as a person. From the sounds of it.
That's kind of unfair. Because I kind of died there, you know?
It is. But it still had an impact on her.
Sure.
Well, I suppose we should get inside of the car and go.
Yep. Get your
Make sure
spot.
this-
Well, the car. Whoa!
Sorry, I'm messing around with the configurations in order to get you guys
Oh,
on the
God.
car exactly.
Let me in the
It
car!
keeps moving. I can't get on.
Hey, alright, sorry, hold on a second. Nobody move.
I am in the car.
I'm in the car.
Where do you guys put Onimori?
The trunk.
In the trunk,
Of
yeah.
course.
He's the tactical trunk man.
Just sits there.
Am I supposed to be some sort of surprise if people get close to the back of the car?
Yes.
Yeah. Just bump them really hard.
How do I open the trunk from the inside?
I mean, we can keep it open for the race. You know, just can hide under the tarp with with the step.
Also, while we're setting up this race, I have to mention this now, or else I'm gonna forget. I love the art that was done for this. When I saw the words for the first time, I forgot that we had written Memento Mori, and I for sure thought that said Hentai Dad. And I was like, strong choice, I guess.
That definitely blew up my mind.
God fucking damn.
It was like, it kind of looks like Hentai Dad a little bit.
Oh no!
That's good.
Which it doesn't say. But, yeah, what a fun fact there.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Fuck.
Oh,
That's so funny.
Especially zoomed out, you can just kind of.
You can just kind of
Yeah, right?
Let her just
you
merge
can
a
like
little bit.
that.
Well, this is what we're all stewing over this. Can I at least say I finally used my performance of creation and create a grappling hook launcher worth 50 gold, Shivam?
A grappling hook launcher?
Yeah.
shit.
Basically something that is propelled and not just thrown by arm.
Can you be a creation just to make sure that you can make a thing that moves around?
No, it just says can't be more than 20 times my bard level, has to be medium or smaller. Once I create it, can't do it again till a long rest, that's it.
Yeah, okay. What did your Song of Creation look like?
I'd say it would be her kind of shooing people away so she at least has some space to do it. Because I think she has to do it on a flat surface. So next to the car, she is going to just attempt to draw a almost kind of like a ballista in a sense. Like a large crossbow. But instead of the arrow point on the front, it is a 4-clawed hook. As she finishes it, she kind of grabs the ground like fabric and pulls up, and it forms the actual launcher itself.
Ooh.
As she attempts to pick it up, but it's probably too heavy, and it just kind of goes.
No, one's up the stairs.
Well,
I'm chasing them.
This should probably help us. If someone gets a little too close.
No, we'll come back.
Yes, that
Would
is
it
very
be on top
impressive.
of the vehicle?
Probably. So if someone would like to man it.
How heavy is this thing?
Alright, leave my shit.
I want to say it's probably I mean, it's decently heavy. Maybe 20 pounds, 25.
Oh, I lift it with one hand.
There we go.
Yeah, you do so.
So useful,
Palm it like a
Mori.
basketball.
Let's get into the hentai dad now.
God.
So who is sitting where, so we can figure this out?
I have to drive
Room for
because
me,
none of
my
you can.
personal enemy back here.
Back seat.
I
Sorry, I'm
guess
gonna get you guys in there.
I would like to be in a place where I can shoot.
Oh yeah, we got the sunroof
Yes.
there now.
The sunroof.
One more
Oh,
time.
what the fuck?
There's
Never
Sorry, I'm trying
mind.
to fix
Just
yes,
killed
Oh.
someone. Oh, you killed me.
Is this
Shit, hit undo.
Let me just bring myself back.
Yeah,
There we go.
re-revived.
Oh, the card girl is so weird.
Yeah, sorry.
Sunroof.
Oh,
Okay, there we go. Holy shit. Alright. Now we're cooking. Maybe.
Is the car supposed to be that small?
Yeah, I can make it a little bigger.
No, it's
Sorry,
perfect.
technical difficulties.
It's perfect. We don't need to change anything.
It's perfect.
Ah! I think that's.
Oh god.
I
think that's big.
I think that's big. I think the size before was fine.
No,
Doing
but
what
now I
you're doing.
can. Now I can fit another enemy into the trunk with me.
God.
Sunroof. Well, I'm
Yeah,
just trying to think about logistically how big this car is.
It's like one of those like big ass trucks. It's just wide as hell.
It's just wide as hell.
it's
Three
an
people
extra.
can fit
It's an extra
in the
big
front.
Ranger.
All right, perfect.
Hold on. Fuck it. Stop moving on to the car. I need to get you guys with the,
How dare you?
Oh my god, it worked one time and it doesn't work again.
Oh god.
Oh no!
We'll cut
What are
this
you
out
trying
in
to
post.
do?
I'm
I
done
have
again.
I have a module. No, wouldn't touch anything.
Oh,
I have a mod.
I
Okay.
have a mod. No one touch anything, please.
Okay, not that.
all right. I'm not
All right.
touching anything. I think.
Can we get some elevator music while this is happening?
No.
Oh,
This
they
is
might
your
copyright us.
Oh
True, they might copyright strike us.
Yeah,
I think as
apparently
this
we
is-
got copyright strike by someone pretending to be a Borderlands.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was a lot of
That's
fun.
cute.
I want to say, I think as this is happening, or as we're getting ready for the race, Ash will walk over to Dea, I think, after seeing the creation and everything, and we'll sort of almost like sheepishly, sort of like reserved, like he's trying not to spook an animal. Sort of walking up very slowly.
Dea, how are you doing?
Able to do that.
Yes, I only ask because I have a history with, nosebleeds, and I know that they can be, painful and cause, problems, so I wanted to check with you.
I am fine. I have gotten used to them and the headaches anyway.
Oh, well, that is good. I wanted to ask of you quickly. I don't know if you had discussed this before or not. Your ability to create something like the thing
As he doesn't really know what a grappling hook is.
that you made. How did you learn to do that?
To actually use my magic like this? That's what you were asking.
There's like a
Yes.
Easy. It was a part of my training to become an oracle. They taught me how to hone my magic from my painting.
Oh. That sounds very useful.
White. If I were a little stronger than what I were now, I could probably even make it shoot itself.
Oh. That would be very interesting. Did you have to create things a lot as an oracle?
Not very often, no. Most things were provided for me. If they were not there, I merely had to ask.
Interesting that you were taught this magic then as a part of oracle training, and they did not have you use it.
I mean, if I'd wished to, I did in my free time. But like all of this magic, it disappears with time.
Yes, of course.
Which reminds me, and she's going to pull out her paint, and using, I can't remember the thing, let me pull up the magic item, elemental mark. She is going to pull out her red paint and draw a, normal, like, I don't know triangle types. The ones that are equal.
Mm-hmm. Equilateral triangle?
That sounds right. I was never good at geometry, but she draws that in the air in front of Ash as she draws the alchemy symbol for fire.
I'm done.
And goes,
There's
this should probably be a little more useful for today.
Oh, thank you. I suppose, well, considering we will be restrained to the car, do you intend to be on the edge of the car, or?
Well, I need to see what I'm casting at,
can't be
unfortunately.
Well, as you are closer to the edge, as I am in the sunroof, it will not be of use to me, so I will give you something as well.
And Ash will go ahead and just sort of lift his hands as if he is lifting a very large rock, and in sort of a what looks like burning embers come out of his hands and quickly take up the entire space in front of his chest before he is holding Maple in his arms as I summon Maple.
She only fights at close range, so would probably be useful to have as a partner on the edge of the car.
Well, if she gets close, I get to sick them on. Well, sick her on them.
When you say sick her on them, Maple just goes.
Good.
I think she likes that idea.
Perfect.
Ash will set Maple down, and Maple like slowly approaches Dea's foot as Maple's in fire mode right now, and Dea is water. But Maple like sort of quickly like goes in between like Dea's feet and just sort of like rests on the ground in between them.
I think she might just fish out a piece of her breakfast, probably some jerky, and she just kind of waves it in front of Maple. Now, if you keep them from hitting me, I promise you so much more of this. And she just kind of drops it.
You see Maple goes, jumps up, grabs it, and then immediately sort of you see a gulp, and then you see a as like a little belch of smoke comes out of Maple's mouth.
Curious. Is she able to do this all the time?
I would die for Maple.
Is she Yes, she can eat all the time.
I meant the fire thing.
Oh, no, the fire, her element is connected to me. It depends what element I have active at the time. We are bonded.
Interesting.
What the fuck happened here? Fucking-
We should probably get her into the
Yes,
car
we should probably
before
get in
more
the
people
car.
notice.
I think the car is set up, so we should
Yeah,
probably
it is.
get in the car.
I believe the
It's
car
fine.
is ready.
This isn't how it's fine. It's fine. Oh god.
Sounds like it's not fine, but let's go!
To save you, we'll just imagine Maple's like a summon.
Mm.
It's true. Maple will just be with you, Dea. So I'll just have Maple make attacks from Dea. Maple, let's go!
Hey.
God.
There we go.
Scares
We
me.
love Maple.
There she is.
Why were you
Yeah,
guys
perfect.
not getting into the car? We've been here this whole time. What were you talking about? This is a serious matter here.
I'm so sorry. I was spacing out. Anyway, let's get in the car.
God. And as you guys are in the car, and there was no Foundry issues whatsoever, because Foundry is a perfect software,
Perfect
it
software.
never breaks.
Never once.
In hindsight, probably should have just reset that token and just not touched it. But hey, we live and learn. It's
Fine.
fine.
Ball.
And now that we have Maple, everything is broken again.
Mm-hmm. I'm just not even gonna think about it.
There we go.
We ball.
We ball.
God. As you guys head up to the starting line, you can see that a handful of other competitors, around 7 others, have also gathered up with various different vehicles. As you can see the Ashra in particular, with as she begins to just like perform some basic maintenance on her bike, just checking it over before the race starts. As she kind of just like glances at you and glares at you all for a second, as she gets on the bike.
I think Dea's taken the front seat again, and she's gonna lean over to the Red Menace.
There's another one. There's
Now
another
you should probably tell her
I'm going someone up.
to not
What?
fuck around.
No.
Yeah?
No.
Tell her to not fuck around. Should I do that right now after the race?
What you can't forget in general, you need to tell her at some point.
At some
Preferably before the arena. But if you do tell her before the race, and say her car dies just a little bit before the finish, she does not make it to the arena fights, and thus does not have a friendly conversation with El Baronessa.
Yeah, that's fair. So I should leave the car and just go there, talk to her for a second, right?
If there's time.
Do any of you guys want to come with me? I really don't want to.
I'll
do
go
this
with
alone.
you.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
I get out of the car.
Alright.
I was the
No.
one to see it.
You,
I'm
you
sure
can do
you-
so. You can move out of the car, by the way. It should be fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Bop.
What were you saying there?
Never mind.
I wa-
Elliot.
Never
I-
mind.
Yeah.
Imagine that we move out of the car. It's fine.
Well, right, you all move as a unit now. Sorry, I've attached you. Right, that was the issue. You're now attached to the car like glue, and that's why I can't use
Okay,
this.
so we lift the car.
Hey, it's fine.
God.
We use our
Drive
imaginations.
the car
We've all
over.
moved.
Okay, we're all here. I drove the car over.
Yeah, we pull the car up to the side of her, like roll down the window.
Hey, loser.
Hey,
Get
Red
in.
Menace. Redman is just
Sorry.
going all the way over the passenger seat, leaning the window. Hey.
Wait, where is that?
Turns
meme?
back to the party. What do I need to say again?
Hello. You say hello.
Hel- Okay. Hello.
Never mind.
What do you want?
Okay, so we know you're a kind of a rat, being, doing stuff with the La Baronessa.
Strong
Yeah. Thank you, Ash.
You can see her like grip a Titan on her bike.
Yeah, so anyway, we're here to tell you that doesn't end well for you because he starts snapping at the rest of her because
You're in
get-
danger.
You will be dismembered.
that.
Man, we're doing so well, guys.
Guys were so charming.
Really now? Because I'm here to tell you that doing the exact same shit you pulled 25 years ago ended in so many people's deaths, including my
Hey.
mother's.
Hey. The only reason I died was because I saved your mother.
Shit.
If I looked out for myself out there, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
She just looks at you confused as she says, "You tried to protect my mother, but you managed to somehow survive, and after 25 years, you're just gonna do the same thing?"
Hey guys, is the weird dad thing a secret? Should I just tell her?
What?
Do you just
I'm
lean
really
back and
mad
say
right
that
now.
to us?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just kind of just like.
I think the cat is out of the bag if you have said it out loud now.
I think it
Oh yeah,
might
no,
be
yeah, we
your-
died. Like, I died. There was a wolf thing when I tried to save your mother from that thing. He points in the general direction that the giant robot is. I could push her out of the way, but the beam hit me anyway. It was just a huge hole in my chest. She survived, as far as I remember. Me, not so much.
She just kind of looks away as she says, "Actually, no, go ahead and roll persuasion first of all. Persuasion for sure."
Guidance.
Persuasion.
You got this, buddy.
I believe in you.
Oh shit, the D is not working again. Give me a second.
I hate it when the D doesn't work.
The D doesn't work. It's bad. Happens to most people.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us.
There we go.
Hey. Hey! Oh,
Hey.
28? What the fuck?
Let's go.
Warlocks be warlocking.
Oh my god. With a 28. You can see her about to like stammer out that that's clearly a lie as like tension just like goes like across her body. But she looks at you and she looks at the scar very clearly emblazoned on your chest. And her resolve breaks a good bit there. As she kind of shakes it off, though, and says, "Okay, fine, so then what? I mean, your plan now is to go off, fight against this thing, but this time don't care about anyone else that you're fighting with?"
No, this time I'm doing it alone. I mean, me and the other four dead people. Five.
Oh.
I'm counting Maple. She's one of us. Yes, Maple.
Yeah, good. I'm just imagining her just like peeking her head out real quick and just popping back down.
Next Red Menace
Y'all
for
are-
sure.
Both
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
shove themselves out the window.
Oh yeah, you're right. You shoved out the window. Yeah, Maple just pushed herself out the window for a second and it's like pop back in.
Yep.
Good.
Where's that dog meme? Like,
Oh my
oh,
God.
there's one, and then a second one pops his
Yeah.
head out. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, no. She just goes on to you can definitely see like her resolve breaking a good bit. As she just says, whatever.
So
if-
edgy.
I think
God.
when she says whatever, Onimori leans forward, I guess like between the headrest and the corner of the window.
A third dog appears.
And he just says very seriously, I don't think your deal with Mother Anessa is going to save as many lives in the end as you think it will.
The people you are protecting lose you, their protector. It will not end well.
Her grip tightens on the bike, as you can definitely see she looks pretty pale.
You are being used.
Just shut up and focus on the race.
Okay.
As she goes away from you.
Oh boy.
Yeah. You can
We all
definitely see
move
though
back
she
into our
is
seats.
very decidedly shaken from that encounter.
Alright, good. We have gotten in her head.
Easy win.
Now
guys.
we win.
Yes. All part of our master plan. I'm also wise, Hesham. I hope you're proud of me.
I have used mind games before.
Yes. They're very good.
You have.
A good tactic is not complete without, mental subterfuge. Let's
Interesting
race.
thing to discover now.
Anyway,
God.
I
Is there,
write
like, a cool
everything
announcer
down.
dude for this
hmm Yeah. And yeah, as the Ashura kind of walks away, and heads back onto her bike, you guys can all see as the massive titan overhead just yells out in this booming voice, "Who's ready for a death race?" As
Me.
people begin
I
to cheer around you.
Is Elena also cheering?
Wee.
Yeah, I'm also cheering. Ash. Not
Good.
loudly, but
Ooh.
Wee. Oh, Elena for sure is. Head out the window. Yeah.
Fourth dog.
Mhm. Yeah, as she goes on to say, remember, the only rules are to make it to the end and to pass through all of the checkpoints on your way. However you get there and however many people you take down in the process is completely up to you, as the people once again let out this huge cheer. And more specifically, in this death race, you guys will be looking for two specific things. One, there is going to be a lot of narrative, or there's going to be a lot of skill challenges that you guys will need to be doing. With each of these skill challenges, I just have a certain number of them, like, in total. If you get a failure on any skill challenge, because you guys have the defensive plating, or each of these failures is basically going to count as like damage to the vehicle. Because you have defensive plating on as your modification, you guys can take 4 failures before your car breaks down, and you're going to need to do repairs on it during the race. If you guys reach 8 failures, your car breaks down, period, and you will not finish. Don't let that happen.
But you said 4 failures, and then we have to fix it, and then 8.
Car's broken.
Broken. Okay, so if we pass on a check to fix it, will that erase one of them?
Do you erase one of the failures?
Yes.
No, you'll still be at 4 failures. It'll just mean you
Okay.
can get back on the road once you fix it. And keep
Okay.
going. It'll just be a huge minus to your speed here. Which, second thing you need to be doing is building up speed during the race.
Oh,
Of
boy.
course, Red Menace, as you remember, racing's not just about beating your opponents. It's also about flexing on them as hard as you can.
Oh yeah.
There are
Absolutely.
several ways that you guys can basically gain what I'm going to call your speed stat here, which in the final stretch of the race, the speed stat is going to be what determines what place you guys are in. So yeah, more speed you guys get, easier it is for you guys to come in first place proper. And remember, you only need to finish the race in order to get to the next section, but really is, I mean, you guys are probably, you're gonna
We gotta win.
Yeah, we
You
gotta
gotta
win.
You got it.
Of course. That was never
So-
an option to begin with.
Here are the ways you guys can get more of the speed stat. If you roll a nat 20 at any point during the race, the nat 20 will count as 1 speed. If you make a action movie one-liner, that will also give you a bonus to your speed.
Alright.
That's good.
Ready?
And the most important one, for any skill challenge or any battle, if you self-impose a challenge on yourself, for example, as you drive, if you pop a wheelie or if you blindfold yourself for an attack, you will gain a +1 point for every +3 to the DC that you add to the challenge. So, for example, if it's normally a DC 15 challenge, if you want to say, you drift during the turn and you want to bump that up to a DC 18, you will gain 1 to your speed stat if you succeed on the roll. So that's your guys' choice, how much you want to gamble on increasing the DC. But of course, the more you increase the DC, the more likely you guys are to fail. And 4 failures means you guys are going to slow down a tremendous amount. And of course, if you get 4 failures, you are going to get a -5 to your speed. So yeah, make sure that you don't break your combos once you guys are building up speed here.
Combo. Alright,
But
perfect.
yeah, with that, are there any questions?
Can we race?
As it's time to race.
I'm waiting for Onimori to pop out of the fucking trunk, kick some dude in the face, and say, "This is Sparta." That's all I want. Anyway.
Yeah. As the La Baronessa raises up the mech's arms, you can hear the roar and rumble of engines around you. As Red Menace, you begin to rev the engine of the Monster Reborn up. You can see from your peripheral as the Ashura also revs up the engine of her bike, getting ready to go here. As the Titan raises her arms up as she says, "On your marks, get set, go!" As you guys.
Can I
Begin it
start stunning already?
Let's go.
Oh, let's go.
Ooh, that's so sick.
We should move it.
We're moving.
Wow.
Wait, can this is so fast. Whoa.
God.
Can I Red
I'm gonna give you
Menace
motion sickness.
start at the race by holding the brake and just letting everyone go and just building
Why?
up smoke.
Oh,
Doing a burnout.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta get cool points.
All right, I will say absolutely yes. If you let's see, what skill check do you want to make to build up speed with this burnout here?
Land vehicles.
Land vehicle proficiency.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Then I'll let you pick your choice of stat plus land vehicle proficiency plus proficiency bonus here. As you begin to rev up the engine. Maybe giving yourself a cool point to start off with.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Why
Yeah.
can't I roll it? How do I roll in the proficiencies?
I mean, just do the slash roll plus
Yeah,
your
you
bonus.
might not be able to.
Yeah,
But-
I will say you can
Ow.
roll charisma because this is more about like I'm assuming this is more of like a mind games tactic than any sort of like actual racing like.
Yeah, so then that plus.
This is the Mario
It's-
Kart.
So it's just
thought
charisma plus
process.
proficiency, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
It's
I
12.
saw that 18.
I did see that 18 as well.
Oh god. As unfortunately, you do try to build up that speed there. But as everyone is in front of you, as you guys begin to get out the gates here, you can see that even with all the speed you've kind of built up here, the other cars are naturally faster than your car. As
Our junker?
I feel the need.
Yeah. As
For speed.
unfortunately, you guys are starting out in dead last here.
Good.
As
Good.
if someone wants to write out on the screen your fails as well as
Fucking
your
fuck.
speed. Yeah. Right out, it's specifically fails that you need to keep track of, not successes. Yeah, successes mean you just don't get a failure. So write out fails and yeah, write out your fuck and your speed. Oh god. As yeah, so I will say that new text. God. I will say that's not a failure to start off with. That's not a skill challenge. However, you guys are, of course, starting out in dead last and did lose out on a possible free speed there.
God.
Yeah.
DM, I have a question.
Yep.
These cars that are ahead of us, are they all sort of like grouped together, or what's the sitch?
They are. I was actually going to say that I was actually going to give you your challenges, by the way, up ahead there. Yeah. As you do see that they're very grouped up. Here's what I'll give. So, yeah, you do see that they're very grouped up. Here's the additional information I'll give you, though. As you can see, the first leg of the race. Yeah, no fucks.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you can see at the in the first leg of the race here, there appears to be a U-turn curve that you guys need to go around, a slight incline. You guys really need to be on the interior of the curve in order to get the fastest time here. But you can see that there's a lot of cars currently just like trying to fight for that like interior space where they're the distance is shortest.
Are they all kind of like in a line?
They're kind of in a line, yeah.
Can I see the driver of the car who is currently on the very inside?
Mm-hmm.
Can I on the very inside?
Yeah.
Can I cast suggestion and just go, what if you just made the hardest right turn right now?
Okay. Here's what I will do. If you spend the spell slot, I will give you advantage on the roll. And yeah, go ahead and roll. Let's go with persuasion.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. DC 15. Would you like to do anything to stunt?
You
Go.
said you said it's persuasion?
Mhm.
Oh fuck.
Or if you use a spell slot, right?
I mean, I do get the advantage. I am spending it, but it's
Oh.
like,
Yeah, spell slot gives you advantage.
Okay.
Not a stunt. Yeah.
I think what she would do, she'd probably not a great thing to do at a car, at a very high speed. Don't do this at home. Is that she will like pop herself out of the window and like lean forward, and she's hanging outside of the window by just like her knees like on the windowsill as she yells that out.
Yeah. All right, great. Yep. So it's +1 speed for every 3 you add to the DC here. How much do you want to add to the DC? Base DC is 15.
Just 3.
Just 3? All right.
Yeah.
Then you go ahead and roll a DC 18 persuasion check with
All right.
advantage.
All right.
Yep, that's 17, 25.
Eh.
As with a 25, as you yell that out, you can see as the car in the lead suddenly just like swerves to the right as multiple other cars begin to just like slam into its side, just beginning to cause it to completely spin out of control. control. As you guys thankfully manage to take the inside of the turn, as you do manage to catch up with the rest of the pack here. As that is, a success, which you guys don't need to keep track of, as well as a speed point, if you want to go ahead and add that.
Someone add the
I got
suck
it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're now next to the other drivers, right?
Yeah, you guys are now next to the other drivers.
Can we even
and
call them
other-
adjacent to us?
Yeah, I would say that they're pretty much adjacent, but as you guys are like all kind of adjacent with each other, you guys are kind of like traveling towards like the near the city itself. As you guys can see, this is where a majority of the people of Duskkeep have kind of gathered, as they kind of cheer you on as you race on by. You can see even that a handful of people occasionally like take items, as they kind of like toss it out onto the raceway in celebration. Some of these items might be useful. Some of these items might be harmful. But yeah, I'll let you decide what you want to do.
Well, we gotta get some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a grappling hook, right? Can we grapple
Mhm.
some
Yeah.
items?
I also have Mage Hand.
Oh, Mage Hand would also work.
We have magic.
I suppose that's probably the
have-
better way to do it.
Magic, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone points out something to Dea, as long as it's within, what the fuck is it, 30 feet from Mage Hand?
Can Ash try and make a perception check to see like if there are any good items on the ground that might be able to help us?
You may. You want to stunt?
Ooh, do I want to stunt?
Do you want to stand?
You know,
Stunt,
I'm
stunt,
gonna say, how would Ash stunt this? My perception modifier is not that high.
I
Oh.
could.
It's too late.
I know.
You don't have to
Um,
stand if you don't want to.
I'm gonna say no. Ash is very serious. He's a serious person. He's looking for
Alright.
a cool item.
Okay, as you do a nice, safe, boring perception check. DC 15.
Alright.
Good.
That's what I'm here for. A boring, safe perception check. Ah, shit.
God.
I see nothing. My
Yep.
eyes are closed.
You see nothing with a no, actually, because it's a proper failure here. You could swear you see something glistening as you attempt to point that out. Dea, you bring it in with Mage Hand.
That's what I got told to do.
That looks useful. Grab it.
Yeah. As you grab it out of the air and pull it towards you.
It's a bomb.
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it just straight up.
What about a smoke grenade, perhaps?
Yeah, smoke grenade is perfect. Yeah, as you can see, someone's like
Okay.
tossed up like a firecracker. It begins to smoke as smoke begins to fill up the car, blurring the windshield a little bit. As that is a failure.
What are you guys doing?
Mm-hmm.
What was the plan here?
Fucking Ash told me to get it.
Ash, are you trying to sabotage us?
No, we are making a smokescreen now to obscure our movements.
Your plans, they are so beyond me. I thought you messed up for a second there.
I would never.
Oh god.
Well, shit.
You guys. Oh, no, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it.
Alright, you guys continue onwards. As you can see in the next leg of the race, there is a very twisty path there that is kind of surrounded by a bunch of like brambles and dead plant. As Red Menace, you can hear Muna over the crystal begin to say, "Hey, the defensive plating, that's going to be perfect for this bar. Just crash straight on through." As you guys get, because you chose the defensive plating in particular for this this challenge, you guys get one free speed. and an auto success here.
Oh hell yeah!
Nice.
hmm Would you guys like to stunt anyways to attempt to farm more
Yes.
speed, or
Very
alright?
much so.
All right, it's going to be a DC 15 to start off with in order to stun.
Wait, you said
Let
there's
me see.
bramble?
Yep.
Hey, I know I just messed up, but
You
Give me
messed
another
up?
go.
can I have an idea for how we might use this to our advantage.
Oh, go ahead then.
Onimori, can you help me steady to get a line of sight on this bramble?
Yes, let me use my, steady powers?
Oh, I mean like steady me as I lean out the window.
Onimori. No, let me walk it. Hold on, I'm getting out.
Okay, I'm just gonna grab his legs.
Alright, I am going to aim at the bramble as we are passing through and attempt to shoot a fire arrow into it to light up the wall of bramble as the other cars are coming.
Yeah, it just kind of makes
Ooh.
sort of it harder to get through for anyone else trying to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Can I help that by casting darkness so they don't see?
So they don't see the firewall?
Yes, and just run straight into it.
I really like that. Yep. If you spend the spell slot, that grants advantage on the roll.
Yeah, I'm doing
I
that.
would say, what roll do you want to make here, Ash? Because it sounds like deception, unless you want to argue something else.
Ooh, gosh. I mean, I was just going for just like an attack roll on these bushes, but
Allow an attack roll.
okay.
All right, AC 15 to hit it.
Oh, do I have a button for this, right?
You should.
Oh,
Hopefully.
Oh,
Yeah, this is with advantage.
yeah, Maple doesn't have a bow, so sorry. Let me try that again. Hey, there we go. And I have advantage on this.
Yeah.
You have advantage at this.
I shouldn't roll. I shouldn't do.
You have guidance also.
You know what? Fuck it. I want this to work. I'm using my inspiration from last session.
Guidance isn't on attack rolls. But you are using your inspiration point?
I'm gonna use my inspiration from last session. I want this to work.
Okay, great.
Hell yeah.
You do so.
We're gonna fucking do that again because I am upset. That was two
Come on, buddy.
fours.
Come on, buddy.
This
Two
is some
fours.
One
absolute
more.
bullshit. I
The
get a roll.
power,
Do I roll with
power-
advantage again, or is it just one more roll?
One more roll.
One more roll.
the power of Maple compels
The
you.
power of Maple
Maple.
compels.
Literally just need a 5.
Yes!
There we go.
Try.
26. We did stunt, right?
Yeah,
Or we didn't?
I think
Yes,
that's
this
the
was
point of
just
the
for the
darkness and
sun.
everything, right?
Yep. You do manage to you're unsteady at first. But as you do manage to see like a clear shot, you take it just on instinct as the brambles begin to light up. And as they light up, the darkness suddenly covers them. As you can see, as you guys pass through this twisty field, a handful of people behind
Don't
you
see anything.
begin to try to. Yeah, don't. Okay, I guess you don't see anything. You hear some screams.
Dark vision. No, okay.
Good.
I can see because I have Devil Sight, so
Yeah.
that always good.
Oh, you see them just crashing through the fiery bramble, just like screaming.
Does this add a speed?
As that adds a speed.
I think Ash will come back into the car and look at Onimori and go,
I think the other racers might be getting a little hot and bothered back there.
There it is. One more
Good.
speed.
Stares at him.
Awesome. Next up, you can see in front of you guys, on the main part of the road, there is a lava flow that currently just like intersects the road itself. It's gonna be hard to get over, or you're going to have to figure out a very quick way to get around it.
What's in?
A flow of lava.
Are there any other drivers around us?
We'll see. Yeah, you're still neck and neck with a handful of people.
Can you like describe a couple of them to me?
Yeah. You can see, just like, these people in like metal masks, to the right of you. As you can see, they're in this like giant, steel like T-Rex on wheels. that just
Aw.
kind of bleeds out fire.
I like this vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So Onimori lifts up the trunk of the car, which he's been holding mostly closed this entire time. He just kind of sticks his head out the back and looks at them. They seem to be stealing his style a little bit. More importantly, the T-Rex is ramp-shaped because the tail, and then it goes up to the head.
Yeah.
So if we can get them to steer in front of us, we can ramp off of it.
Good.
Yes.
Correct.
I love this. Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Onimori goes back up to the middle seat, sticks his head and goes, the Red Menace. Do you think we could go up and over the T-Rex to get over the lava? You're muted.
Redman turns to Benimore and says, "You know, I like that idea." And he raises his hands from the steering wheel, puts them outside the window, and say, "You can drive the car for this one. I believe in you.
I don't.
Oh
want
my
that,
god!
actually.
You can do it,
Good.
friend.
I think
This is it. This is your test. This is how we know you can drive the car.
I would.
You got the calling. I can feel it in you."
Do you grab the wheel or is it? Are you just
Wait,
kinda...
Red Menace. Okay, can you please make me a persuasion check? Because I have an idea and it's not that, but you might convince me.
Okay, it's just a persuasion check, just to convince.
To convince
Yeah.
Onimori to grab
It's
the
not
wheel.
a roll for like the actual thing.
No.
just
This is just the Red Menace rolling persuasion.
10.
Aw.
While
That's
I
sad.
appreciate the idea, I think you are best suited to the drive, and I was going to take out the driver of the other vehicle.
Oh,
So
all
they
right.
stop in front of the lava. Could you just steer over by them?
Yeah, I can do that.
Damn, I really wanted to see that.
Skirt.
Okay, so I'm assuming we're like a little ahead of them and on the driver's side, and Onimori opens the trunk again.
Mm-hmm.
And like looks at the driver, stares at him, waiting for him to make eye contact.
He does so. Is he gonna
So what
let
kind
the
of face is he?
war-
I guess he's wearing a mask.
Yeah. He looks at you and he just like lets out like a war cry as he just kind of stares at you, just whooping into the air.
Onimori is like not matching this guy's energy, and he just looks at him and goes, "You're not afraid of the dark, are you?" That's a movie line. And I'm gonna grapple him and try to pull him into the trunk.
You're just getting grapple. Yeah, I love that. Roll athletic.
Just
you wanna
slam the
stun?
trunk closed.
Murk him in there.
Wait, do you want to stun? Oh,
Please,
too late
yes!
to stun. I was
What
gonna
do I-
ask
what?
if you wanted to stun, but you just rolled.
Oh, what was the DC?
It was only DC 15. You could have stunted.
Yeah,
and gotten a
I wanted to stun. I
Just
would
roll.
have gone up to 18.
Well,
God.
it might
Oh,
be
I
too
can't
late
say that
now.
retroactively.
Yeah, it's
never
definitely
mind.
too late for that.
I would
Wait,
like to
it's
stun
too late.
twice, actually.
Mm.
No, okay, I pull him in the trunk, and then I'm just gonna spend my next turn just attacking him.
Wait, did we take out the dinosaur car?
Yeah, so now there's no one hitting the gas pedal, so it's gonna
Yeah,
like roll
I'm
its
gonna
walk.
turn to Ash or Day and say, now that's what we call an extinction event.
Yes,
Oh my
good.
God.
Yeah, all right. Yep. That's a speed. That's a speed for sure.
Yeah.
Wait, did
So-
you not catch mine, Shivam?
So how many speeds do we have? Because Redman has said one, and now Onimori did say one.
I'm just gonna go with one for that. You only get one per
Boo.
encounter here.
Boo!
It's all good. It's all good.
All right, but yeah, no. As you say that, the T-Rex begins to veer in front of you guys as it crashes headlong into the lava field. You can see just with its bulk, it's cleared out a path that's blocking the lava. As you guys manage to just skirt right on by.
No, it's ramp shaped. We're gonna go over.
Yeah,
it.
we gotta
we're gonna
ramp
jump
off
over
Got
of
a
it.
ramp. You got a
Yeah.
ramp.
It's ramp shape as you guys jump over the car,
lava
the lava
Can we do
flow.
like a barrel roll while we do that?
Yeah, with one stunt you do manage to do that. It's that you barrel roll through. As you hit the ground and keep on running. Yeah, you guys are like middle of the pack in the race now. As you guys can see that someone ahead of you guys is currently just like gaining steam and taking out competitor after competitor. As you can see that like from their vehicle on top of this like giant clockwork what appears to be almost this draconic creature. They just kind of like have this strange. You're just beating the shit out of him. Yeah, you're doing so.
I'm just gonna roll one of these every once in a while.
Yeah, as you can see.
Poor man.
God. Yeah, as you guys can see that like there's this strange creature being controlled by a fairy that Elena and Onemori you two recognize.
Oh, I don't see anything.
Well, you don't see anything. Elena, you recognize as the creature of this like weird. It's this weird four-legged creature. It's like dog-shaped, but has like this giant eye on its face. As it just stares at the other racers, they just begin to like slowly lose control. As they kind of like drift off to the side with this clockwork dragon beginning to move ahead on people. What do you guys decide to do?
Fairy is in sight, yes?
The fairy is in sight, yes.
Hey, Red the Menace, could you get closer to there?
Of course.
Yep.
Can I summon my scythe and then just kind of cue ball her off of the thing?
Good. Correct.
You're gonna cue ball what?
Like, jab her to, like, knock her off of the thing.
Oh, you're just going to just like, yeah, just whack her?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Cricket.
Alright, what roll do you want to make here? Just a straight attack roll? Because if you're doing the attack roll again, I'm going to say the base DC is a little bit higher because Ash already did an attack roll.
Say survival.
How?
Oh, or athletics, because I guess it would be strength. Kinda. I don't know.
Athletics makes more sense.
Yeah.
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 I'll allow athletics is being used in a different way than Onimori. Alright?
Yeah, because I'm just pushing her. I'm not, like...
Yeah,
Mine was a grapple check.
yeah,
Oh,
you're
true,
grapple
true.
was a shove.
Completely different.
Yeah, so
Totally different.
DC 15 athletics here. Do you want to stun?
How would I stun?
You.
I do, but I'm trying to figure out how I would do that. Could I just say a one-liner and call it that?
Sure. It'll count for the one-liner too if it's good.
Okay. We get up there. I'm gonna use my inspiration ball too, because I don't want to miss this.
Alright. DC.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me. Please. Yes!
Let's go.
23. With a 23. You fucking like you smacked the back of the scythe directly into her. As one of the fairies just kind of begins to go flying off of the vehicle. Well, I will allow you one speed at least. What was the pun in the one-liner? I don't. You dead or
It's
alive?
from RoboCop, isn't it?
RoboCop?
Dead or alive, you're coming with
You're
me.
coming with me? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was scared I was gonna miss, that's why I said it.
Oh god. Yeah. Yes, the fairy just gets sucked out of the car. It looks like someone's flying out of a plane and she just zooms behind. as the other fairy just like looks at you with a rage. As this fairy just zips out of existence. As she just looks at you and just says, and just like screams out like, "Sugar, no!" As she looks at you with a feral rage.
I hide back in the car.
Wait, is she like looking into our like driver's window? Or
She is looking into. She's now like neck and neck with you guys.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Can we say that she like looks into our car, and like Maple has her head in like the glove box, and just pulls it out and has like a pair of shades on, just like looks over at her.
Yes.
Yes, amazing.
Good.
Oh god. Yeah. As she does so, the next challenge is as you can see the mouth of this draconic creature begin to open, you see that there's a ballista on the inside, as in this image. As the ballista suddenly shoots out into the side of your car, just hooking into it, as she attempts to kind of try to drag you off of the road here. What do you guys do?
Could I cast blur on our car?
Oh, you want to do blur on the cars like as it's about to hit?
Yeah. Is that possible?
Yeah,
really getting
well,
that to you.
Yeah, we'll for sure. Yeah, so yeah, if you cast this, yeah, I'll totally allow this. And as you cast the spell, let's go with this. What skill check do you want to roll? And I'll let you roll with advantage if you spend the spell slot.
Yeah, that's my last spell slot, and I'm gonna magic attack. What does that sound?
You just gonna go for the attack roll here? Or?
Yeah, they're just a magic one.
Oh, so like just a charisma roll of proficiency?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Oh, thank you. Bless.
Alright. Do you want to stunt?
Yeah.
Alright.
What's the normal DC?
Normal DC is 15. And you do have advantage on the roll.
I'm gonna bump that to 16 because I'm not very confident.
You can bump it up to what?
To the lowest I can bump. Just one bump.
One bump, 18. Okay.
Oof. Yeah. And
You do get
as
advantage.
I do get advantage. Guidance maybe? No?
Yeah, I'll guide you. I'll be nice.
Okay.
Yeah, guidance is good.
I
Guidance is
guess.
nice. I guess I'll be merciful.
I'll describe how I stunt if this works out.
True.
Alright. DC 18 with advantage. Let's see.
I believe you.
Oh,
Come on,
boy,
buddy.
Oh boy.
You got this.
The D is gone again.
Part of the cards.
Heart of the cards.
You can click on it in your sheet too.
Yeah. You can also just roll
I
D20
did.
plus 7.
Advantage.
Well,
Natural 20!
A nat 20. As a nat 20. Okay, so.
Let's go.
Nat 20 by itself is already a speed point.
Hey.
In addition, you also get a speed point from the challenge completed.
Oh,
And from the
shit.
stunt,
And I
right? Is that
stunted.
3 speed?
I also stunted.
Yep. Yeah. So nat 20 and 1 stunt. So you get 2 speed from that.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
that's so
Yeah.
good.
What do you do?
As the thing goes to hit the car, it gets blurry. And as it does, the car starts to fly slightly and spins around and lands on the other side of the thing as I use my magnetism to land safely.
Yeah, you do so. As you're now driving backwards, just like as she's staring in disbelief, as she just says, "Oh shit!" As because the car is no longer there, the ballista slams into the ground as her vehicle just swings out to the left.
I'm gonna say to her as she passes by, Well, you might want to get your eyes checked. Your vision seems to be a little blurry.
That's 3 speed from 1 roll there. Good job.
Let's go.
I'm the Red Menace.
We're almost
God.
at 10 speed, y'all. We're
Mhm.
zooming.
Force.
Amazing. Oh god. As she swerves off of the road. You guys can see that there's only a handful of people in front of you now.
Hey, how's my
As-
friend doing?
He's broken and bleeding as he just says, "Please let me out of the trunk."
Oh, you want out, do you?
Wait, I think I misphrased this.
Oh no.
Is there anyone,
Anyone behind you? No,
Directly
you could just throw him
behind
out on the
us?
road.
is there anyone directly behind us?
I don't.
There can be if you wanted to throw him at someone.
Like, if someone's approaching us with a weapon, trying to, like, pop our tires or something, I'm just gonna
Yeet.
Check him
gonna
out.
roll them out.
yeah.
God, you do so. We will say here. Do you want to try and make this a roll, or just want this to happen for flavor?
I'll make it a roll.
Okay. I will say then, if we're adding this to the thing, there's a possible failure you can get out of this. Then, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you gonna
I'm
roll
wondering
in?
what I'm gonna roll, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out too. You're kind of laying a trap. Any
That's
sort of
survival.
trap or,
Traps your survival.
Mm-hmm. Survival? I'll allow survival.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, DC 15?
Sure, I'm not gonna push it because I don't have a very high bonus.
Okay.
Guidance.
Thank you.
I imagine Elena this entire time
Yeah.
is just reaching around slapping different people in the
Pew
car.
pew pew.
Well, Onimori's just beating up this guy in the trunk, though, so you just have to, like, just kind of, like...
Hold on, I opened the little cart thing. Hey, how's it going in there? And this guy
Just
helped me.
Yeah, and you see a dude getting, like, choked out by Onimori there.
And she just pats Onimori's shoulder. Good job, buddy, and just
So
closes
good,
it.
so good.
It's like you pull down,
Please help me. As he just puts the thing back.
fucking pull down the middle seat. It alights. You see Onimori choking a man out. It's just like help, help, help. You just pat Onimori, goes, okay, have a good time, and just close it.
I love that. Alright.
Good.
11. Womp. As with an 11, as you two are struggling, just attempting to beat the shit out of this guy, you try to throw him out of the trunk. As let's say this, as he kind of begins to fall out of the vehicle, he kind of like reaches for a crossbow at his side. As he does manage to fire a single shot at your tires. As he does manage to damage them a good bit there, as he
You
falls to
hold on?
the ground. What?
Where is he?
No, he rolls onto the road.
Oh, he's getting run over. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's almost certainly getting run over, but he did manage to nearly pop your tires as he went out.
Damn.
Mhm.
Okay.
Fucker.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Oh god.
You said there was like a handful of people still in front of us?
Yeah, there is. I'll go ahead and describe this next part though, because as you guys head up, you can see that like it's this narrow valley surrounded by like some mines around you guys. As you can hear Muna say into the crystal, "Okay, here's the thing about the next part. This curve goes around the mines, and that's all well and good, but we might be able to save a little bit of time with a shortcut if you're willing to go a bit more of a dangerous route here." As he says,
No more.
to your right, there should be a mine shaft. There's gonna be very little room for errors in there, but if you can get through, I mean, there's no one who's gonna be able to catch up to you.
Let's go.
Well, is a democracy here? What do you guys say?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Better not fucking murder us.
Yeah.
I'll try.
That sounds like a yes.
Wait,
to
I
me.
open the thing. What do you say, Onimor?
What is the question?
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. I
Yeah, let's
close
go.
it.
Yeah. As you can see, also the Ashra ahead of you guys, you can see as she also begins to head up the side path, as she does the Akira bike slide and just begins to sail into the mines ahead of you guys.
What a bitch. How far ahead of us is she?
Not too far ahead, as we'll switch maps.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh god. I'm gonna get sick.
Hey, why is Ash in the
this
trunk?
is cool.
Yeah, sorry, I just kind of I set this up.
We're in a flying V. It's okay. It's okay.
It's cool, it's cool.
We're racing the goose. It's fine.
Right. Let me make that a little bit better. A little relative sized.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Wait, and also in the center of the flying V, I was gonna say we can have our most important person.
People.
Oh yeah, right. Where is she?
The maple hot
There we
pocket.
are.
Yes.
Yeah.
God. As you guys swerve into the mine shaft following the Ashura, the walls are suddenly just like extremely narrow. As you guys can see, just like in the image, you guys just barely have enough space for the monster to go through, and the cavern does appear to twist and turn a little bit. As you have to be very careful not to hit the walls.
Do we think we would have enough room if she somehow got tripped up that we could pass her?
Not currently.
We would
Damn.
run her the fuck over.
Is there
necessarily wanna
enough room above us?
Above her?
Above, yeah. Could she pass over us?
Or could you pass over her, you mean?
No, she pass over us.
If you guys launched her into the air and then behind you guys, you might be able to do so.
How much amphetamines are around in this cave?
Considering this is a mining operation, I would say there's a decent amount, so I'm assuming,
good-
if you're going to use one of your abilities here, it would be at advantage. But it's still going to be a hard thing if I think you're going to do what I think you're going to do.
Yeah, I want to just launch her backwards over us.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say. This is going to count just straight up and down as just base. It's going to be DC 18. If you do succeed, that's going to be 2 speed though for DC 18.
Oh boy, and with advantage.
With
Guidance.
advantage, and just the spell casting roll.
Oh shit.
And with guidance.
Come on, buddy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so spell casting roll with the proficiency.
Does anyone else have any ideas? I don't want to be the one.
Is there any way we can sabotage her? I have an idea,
Use
but
the
I
grappling hook. Pull her in.
I also have an idea of how to lift her up if it would aid Red Menace. Oh, you're all waiting on me to say it, fuck. I could attempt to, pull her towards the ceiling with some magic. If that would
That
help
sounds
what
good.
you are doing.
Yeah, if both of us do it, there should be less resistance, I think.
Yes, I think that's how that works.
DM, could I attempt to cast Entangle on the roof above her to try to have the vines reach down and restrain her and pull her up?
Okay, yeah, you could attempt to. Let's see here. I would say spell casting ability check. You will get advantage if you spend the spell slot though.
Okay.
Alright,
Okay.
so DC 15, you want to stunt?
Well, this is to help Red Menace, so I'm not gonna
Just to
stunt.
help Red Menace.
I think
Okay.
I think this is we're going plain here, especially since I think my my spellcasting modifier is not the hottest.
Mhm.
Oh boy, I believe
it
in
is
you.
a +3 for
Guidance?
sure.
Yeah. I will say then if you get a success,
Guidance.
it will add 1 speed and decrease the DC by to 15 for Red Menace.
Red
then.
Menaces. All right.
If you just do a straight roll.
All right. We'll do. All right. So this is just I guess
Could I-
yeah, it's not an attack or anything.
Can we assist
okay,
Ash
okay.
assisting Red Menace?
Oh my god, just make this as complicated as
Yeah,
possible.
good. I love it.
Just a chain of events.
I will take a no if you don't want to fuck around with that. I was gonna see if a vicious mockery would help or not.
Yeah.
Let's save it for the next
Yep.
chain of things.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Damn. How dare you? All right. Fine. I'm just gonna do a wisdom check then, since that's.
Yep, wisdom check with proficiency. You do have advantage because you spent the spell slot.
All right.
He's
Ability
15.
Check advantage. Did I hear
Guidance.
that I got maybe a guidance?
Guidance. I did.
Alright, pretty dope. Alright.
See?
That's a 21!
21.
21. With a 21, you do help Red Menace. As Red Menace, all you need is a DC 15 roll with advantage, and you can get
Oh, boy.
3 speed out of this.
The guidance.
Do check with guidance.
We love guidance.
Oh, an advantage. Oh,
That's a 15!
15?
Oh god.
With a 15. Red Menace, describe how you lift the entirety of the actually, Ash, if you want to help too with your entanglement there. What happens with the entanglement, and what happens as you lift her out from ahead of you guys, as she is now behind you guys?
Yeah, I think Ash will lean towards Red Menace as he sticks his arm out the window, and you see like green magic start to queue up in his palms. He just goes,
I'll set her up, you knock her down.
as
All right, buddy.
vines will push out from underneath her motorcycle, as just sort of almost like just like a batting tee, just putting her in the perfect position up in the air.
Yeah. As she attempts to swerve out of the way, as the plants begin to reach up out of the ground, and as she manages to, she does narrowly avoid the first couple of them. The largest of all the plants just suddenly lifts the bike into the air.
Red Menace raises a hand toward the motorcycle, and as the party is going through the cave, you see the crystals around them just start popping one by one as the motorcycle starts to creak, and he just throws his hand backwards, and her motorcycle just flies, barely missing our car.
Mm-hmm. God. As she just gets launched behind you guys, you watch as she narrowly just like almost gets knocked off of the bike, as she does manage to regain her footing, but she is now very much behind you guys.
Hell yeah.
Can I now threat the
Let's
vicious
go.
mockery just for fun?
Well, I was gonna say there's still a couple more challenges here.
Okay, how many speed
But the
now?
We got 3
Roast.
speed from that,
That
so we're
was
at 12.
3 speed from that, from
Can
12.
Can I do it just for the roast then?
Yeah, okay, what do you want to do with the rest?
From what she's, I think she's gonna attempt to peek her head out, turn back around. You know what? I was wrong the first time I met you. You were not just a clown. You are the entire circus.
Ah, god damn it.
Good.
Good. You could swear, even from your distance, you can see like a blood vessel about to almost pop in her forehead.
That's all she wanted.
God. As next up, as you guys look in front of you, you can see that up ahead there does appear to be in like the narrow corridors you guys are headed towards. There was a cave-in, and the your exit is currently covered up by a ton of rubble.
That's not good.
You were currently
Oh.
heading towards that speed.
Oh,
What do you
should
guys
have
do?
let her be ahead of us, I think.
You did all of this and you're just gonna like...
Just send her back.
Do you want to?
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe.
I will say that you'll get a free success, but no speed, no stunts, no nothing out of it.
No.
No.
Let someone else do it.
Alright, who wants to do
Oh.
something?
Oh,
Mhm.
oh, shit!
Yeah.
I have something.
Oh shoot. Alright, we'll see if this can do it. I'm gonna need someone to hold me down.
I lean out.
Ash is
Noodles
gonna
me again.
like lean out to get a good view of the rocks. As he like grabs onto Maple with one hand, and I'm going to change my elemental type to acid.
Mhm.
As Ash is going to pull back his bow and speak a command word he has not used yet, as he's going to say,
Rain down.
as he is going to release an acid dragon breath at the rubble to try to get it out of the way.
Ooh.
Oh man. Same thing. If you spend a charge of your weapon, as the arrow slowly begins to transform from just like this green bolt of energy, as it suddenly grows like dragon wings and a draconic face. I'll still allow go ahead and make an attack roll. Starts off DC 15. You have advantage on the roll. You want
Okay.
to stunt?
Alright. I mean, we're already ahead, right? We don't need to stunt.
Okay.
I'd rather hit.
Roll with advantage then.
I'm feeling like a weak baby right now.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to hit.
I mean, this campaign has the worst.
Yo, fuck me. That's two twos.
Twos.
That's
The
two
fuck?
twos.
Okay,
You love to see it.
what's the chance of rolling 4-4 and then 2-2?
Yo,
That's gotta be like
so
really
fucking
fucking
low.
low.
Extremely.
I have a plus
That's
10 to those fucking rolls.
I think it's something like 1 in 200 just to get that singular roll, which is very funny.
Yo, I'm upset.
Bro.
Yeah, as you launch the arrow, but unfortunately, it makes a clean circle through the rubble and does not explode enough of it as you guys crash through the rubble.
Alright,
with-
as we're like, slowing the fuck down to
Mhm.
not die. And I
Who
attempt
said that?
another roll
Who
to
said that?
try and save this situation.
Well, you already got a failure, so this would be a new thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have one failure already.
Can I just take out the Kanabo and
Mhm.
just smash the rocks?
You're doing so to mitigate the situation. As you guys are now through.
Okay.
Alright.
We
Next.
technically got through, but it was like tight tunnel scraping on the side of the car.
Yeah.
God.
There's not gonna be a roll you could do to like undo the fuck.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, the fuck's the fuck. Oh man. Alright. And
You're
as
so
you guys
fast though.
Yeah, you guys are pretty fast. As you guys keep continuing on forward, you guys can see that the space thankfully begins to open up a little bit here. As you look around though, it's kind of very hard to see as the only light you really have is the headlights. As you guys can see as the room is kind of opened up, there do appear to be a good number of stalactites and stalagmites around here that you guys would need to swerve around in very low vision.
I cast
You
light.
have dark vision and devil sight.
Oh, you do have dark vision and devil sight.
I could also cast light on the car.
Yeah.
Good.
There we go.
Well, dark vision doesn't only give you disadvantage on perception. But devil sight does allow you, I think, just straight up to see in darkness. What roll do you want to make, and I'll give you advantage on it to kind of swerve around then. or if someone else wants to point stuff out to you, what's going on?
What's going on? Elena, do you want to do something?
I was gonna cast light on the car, but I mean, if you have devil vision, I don't know how well that works.
I'm the one.
I mean,
what,
light works too if you want to give
that
yourself
still.
advantage on a thing, and then just if there's anything you want to do to
Perception, so
Yeah.
I'll cast light, so
Let's
that'll give me
go.
advantage, right?
Mhm. Yep.
And then I'll do perception.
You want to stun?
That'll be our far fuck.
No.
You'll be dead.
No stun? Okay. Advantage, perception, yeah. DC 15. Wow.
Oh, are you fucking kidding?
Oh god.
I should have guidance. I thought about it, but I was like, no, I already cast light.
As with only a 12, you do manage to navigate around a decent number of them, as there was one you did not see. As you guys crash headlong into it, your car breaks down as the Ashura pulls out ahead of you guys.
I hate this.
You guys lose 5 speed, as you now need to make emergency repairs to the car.
We're still pretty fast though.
Yes. You guys still are really, really fast, though. That was very good. But the Ashura now is still in front of you guys, for sure.
I hate
As you guys are down to 7 speed, Muna quickly walks you through the repairs you need to make. As you guys are quickly nearing the end of the race, you guys head back onto the road. Thankfully, a good distance ahead. As you guys speed along, as you can eventually see that the Ashura is in the distance, and as you guys head towards light ahead of you guys, you can see that you guys are now kind of headed down towards the main straightaway towards the end. As there is a bridge that leads down, the Ashura just kind of like looks back for a second, as with a deft swipe of her 6 fists, she begins to just like punch at the sides of the bridge. As with each rivet that she manages to knock down, the bridge begins to get more and more rickety, as a good portion of the bridge is now fallen off.
Oh.
How are you guys gonna make the jump?
Gotta do
T-Rex
E.T.
pulls
style.
up next to
The X-Pulse, oh my god. It's back.
back. Guys,
So-
we can fly.
Actually, could I cast levitate on the car? Or does it have to be myself?
Let's see,
think
what does
levitate's
levitate through?
Technically levitates anything within range, right?
Mm-hmm.
Levitate doesn't let you move things horizontally.
But I'm not moving it, I'm just
Yeah, it would just be
lifting it.
going through the air and just, I think you can move it up and down.
a target that weighs up to 500 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
No,
I'd say that's
cars
fine.
are way heavier than that.
What do you get levitate through?
Isn't it my ASMR? I could have sworn it was. Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
That sounds
that
right.
would be an air genasi.
Fuck.
Do you
never
have
mind.
levitate on your spell sheet?
No.
What do you-
For some
What?
reason, I thought levitate was part of the. Never mind. Sorry.
No, you have the ability to fly, but you cannot lift 500 pounds. Sorry. You cannot lift this entirety of the car at speed.
Well, that sounds pretty lame.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys want to do?
I can try to.
We still
The
Around
haven't.
bridge
the car,
isn't down
up.
yet, right?
Oh,
We
Yeah, I
also.
could-
Oh, go for it. Go for
Go
it.
ahead.
Go for
The
it.
bridge
No, go
is
ahead.
not
Go
down yet. It's just looking like it's going to fall.
We'll say it's actively in the process of falling.
I was gonna.
Oh.
So is the bridge like? Are we on a upper part of the bridge, and the land we are going to, is it below us?
Yeah, it's below you guys.
We haven't used the grappling hook yet.
You guys have
Oh.
not.
should do that.
True, we could just grapple the bridge.
Yeah, just grapple the bridge and try to like hold it steady.
Wait, hold up.
Mhm.
First off, you said steady and I can tree.
Yeah. Onimore is activated. Woke eyes.
Yeah,
So-
if he
so
uses
if we
steady, will
can-
that give him advantage?
See, grabbing the bridge does not work with physics because once we're on the bridge, then we can't hold up the bridge because we're on the bridge. We're part of the bridge.
But
I mean,
aiming,
tying it to like.
but
imagining
aiming it.
like.
I was gonna say aiming it towards where we're going on the ground.
Yeah, and then
ahead.
we could
cut it
what's
once
the
we're
word?
across.
No. If we fire the grappling hook onto the other ledge, and we can zip line the car.
Yeah, zipline with someone literally just holding on to like. Yeah, it would require an incredible amount of strength, but it's possible.
That sounds
I
like Oni.
have that.
activate my giant strength.
Yes, let's
I am
go.
bapping Onimori with enhance ability.
Oh hell yeah.
Let me double check which strength. What the fuck? I just
Okay.
had the P-Jump. Fuck you. Fucking Wikidot.
I
But
already
yeah,
have an advantage.
I
By
think
the
it's
way.
bull strength.
Yeah.
fair
And,
enough.
Full strength. Just checking something, by the way, as I. Would you like to do anything else for this ability check as a bard?
Yes, I will
Oh.
give him
Fire.
inspiration.
Oh god.
So
I
I think
forgot you were a
Daya
bard.
is having this idea because you did mention the grappling hook. And Daya's like, okay, we can get the grappling hook down. And Onimori kind of picks and goes, and how is the car supposed to follow the grappling hook?
What?
To Daya.
Explain the plan in character.
Yeah, that's my goal here.
You gotta
Use
put
the
hook?
DNR on your.
We use the hook to mount it to where we want to go. And we just
Wait, what?
glide the car along with a little bit of assistance holding onto it.
Sick.
That's where you come in.
I think I understand the plan. Onimori crawls out really awkwardly into the seat.
Mm-hmm.
If someone could make sure I don't leave the car, that would be much appreciated.
It's a collective effort to hold Onimori.
I can also hold you down.
Okay, so, alright, the Red Menace. Someone's firing, I'm assuming Day is firing. And the Red Menace, you can move metal things, correct?
Correct.
Can you, once the grappling hook has fired, move the turret onto the cliff that we're on? So we can't have the grappling hook once we leave the ground.
That is fair. I think I can do that.
Alright. And then, as soon as this all, like, kind of, we hear, like, the grappling hook go out of the thing, and I'm gonna assume in some good world that we hit the cliff side. I hope we can
Yes.
hit the broad side of a cliff. I
Yeah.
really hope we can.
Broadside of a cliff, yeah.
Yeah.
And the Red Menace tosses the thing down and smacks the ground. I'm gonna... We have a sunroof! Reach out the sunroof. I'm gonna toss Diabo over the grappling hook wire.
Mhm.
And pray that it doesn't snap to grab the other end.
It does not.
Alright.
Alright.
Let's
And-
see how
Hold on. Before you roll. One.
Before I roll.
Before you roll,
Before I roll.
yeah, so, one, as you go through with this, I believe Enhance Ability and Giant's Might was the abilities you used on yourself, right?
I used Giant Smite.
Yeah, and Kate used Enhance Ability on top of that.
I'm pretty sure those do the same thing.
Yep. So I will say, because I will allow these to stack in this way, you will roll this with advantage. It is DC 15. It will base give you 1 speed just for succeeding on this with the DC 15.
Less.
Do you want to stunt? Remember, you have advantage on this. This would be athletics for sure.
And I have
And
Bardic
inspiration,
and
maybe guidance.
And you do have, Bardic Inspiration and Guidance on this.
It's a
I don't
How much would
think
you like to stunt?
Onimori would stunt unless the party encouraged him to do so.
I mean, we are ziplining a fucking car.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
get it.
that's your base 1
What does
speed.
the Red Menace say?
I believe in your ability to show the bitches what's up.
I kind of want to do one stunt point, but also the instant I put that energy into the world, I'm gonna fail the roll.
No, we're gonna do great. Don't you dare. We're gonna do incredible.
We're putting good vibes.
Only good
right
vibes.
now.
Alright. One
Do I
stunt
need
point.
the stunt point to go past the Ashura?
We're gonna get 2 stunt points for this.
You
right?
guys would get 2 for a total of 9 speed, which you guys are uncertain how much speed you guys would need to pass her. Of course, more is better.
Fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
All right, so you're gonna go for
1.
1. Okay, so DC 18 roll here. You have advantage. Let's go ahead and start off with the advantage.
Am I like carefully rolling 1 by 1 everything else?
Yes, because I think that's way more funny.
Okay,
Let's go.
advantage time. Let's go. Athletics, please.
23.
Okay.
All right, 23 base. Well, you have the guidance for free, so might as well just roll that just to
Yeah,
just
I'll
to
hold
see
on
what
to
you
my
could've
bardic
gotten.
inspiration. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
you can hold on to that. 24.
4.
With the 24, you in a okay. So what does your giant's might look like?
I've described it as Onimori just kind of goes Super Saiyan.
Yeah. As with this insane amount of strength, the car begins to slide off of the road as Onimori is currently just holding the car up. With just absolute sheer strength. You can see like as just like you begin to like glide towards the ground.
I'm gonna do a pull up. That's the stunt.
God. Yeah, no, as Onimori is just using every last bit of his like strength to keep it steady. As the grappling hook is almost beginning to like
Steady.
struggle under the sheer weight. But even as it snaps, Onimori, you grab both ends there as you are
Shut up.
still holding it together perfectly. As the car manages to hit the ground perfectly gently. As you have literally lifted this car to the ground like a crane. Without losing a single bit of speed here, you guys are on the Ashura's tail. As add 2 speed for a total of 9 here.
Well, that was my contribution today.
I think Ash will lean over to Onimori and go,
Oh wow, you really pulled the win out of that situation.
Oh my god. Yep, I'll allow that.
Yeah.
For 10
Hell
speed.
yeah.
Then
And as we get to this final straightaway, you guys pull up on the Ashura, and in this final straightaway, your speed's what matters to see how close you are to her. As, in order to be next to her, you guys needed 10 speed, as you guys are
yeah.
neck and neck towards the finish line.
that's why I fucking made the one-liner, guys. I was
You
like,
guys have
This.
3 actions here. No more failures, no more nothing. This is just speed. What do you do to gain that last speed just before the finish? You know, it does.
it's gotta be Red Menace.
Mhm.
oh
Please.
boy. I'm gonna turn to the Ashra and yell from my seat. You know, we're the only ones who can stop this. Stop her. Turn back right now and no one will know what happened.
Roll
Kind of a
me.
loser already. And my point is, I want to use persuasion for that.
Yeah. And because you guys did convince her with that really high persuasion check earlier, roll with advantage DC 18. See if you can get this last bit of speed you need.
Can I poke him for inspiration?
You give him, Bardic Inspiration, you do so.
Elena from the back of the car. Guidance.
Okay, so I have.
Oh, I don't know if she gave you guidance. I was joking.
Oh, I
You
have
do,
I have
you
a
do.
1d8. At least.
Oh, as soon as he did. I think she's feeling a little motion sick, sorry.
Oh god, I'm so sorry, Edith. Okay, I'm getting the guidance then, an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
28.
28.
You're like 8 on the D8.
As Red Menace, you look at her. You watch as she is shaking right now. She is unable to focus. She's attempting to get across the finish line, but her mind is completely and utterly clouded. Meanwhile, your purpose, your resolve, it's never been clearer to you. As you hit that fucking pedal to the metal, and by a hair, you cross the finish line in front of the Ashura, ending up in first place.
Let's fucking go!
Let's fucking go!
God. And as you guys pull up into the winner's circle, you guys have won the death race and gotten first place.
Let's go!
Never a doubt.
Yeah, I never had a doubt.
Mhm.
That was the only outcome that could happen.
Yeah, nothing else could have happened there.
Oh god. As the Ashura just like stops her bike, she just begins to like to just walk away, clearly just like her mind completely clouded. As she's just clutching her head. Oh god. But for right now, you can all hear the roar of the crowd around you. As cheers explode, you can hear the Titan call out, and your winners, Memento Mori. As you can hear her say, well, congratulations. If, you wouldn't mind, I suppose, I could meet with you all then to offer my congratulations in person. Perhaps the Barvin?
We're just going to the Barvin?
Really? I expected something a little more fancy than that.
I figured she'd have a little place, you know.
You own this town, don't you have like a house?
I also don't think she can hear us. She is in a robot.
Oh shit.
You all seem to be avoiding the really dangerous fucking
That
answer.
she knows where we've been staying.
She knows.
Oh.
Yes. I assumed that from what she said.
Actually, that flew completely over my head. Like,
I'm so fucking glad I painted your dumbass purple, I swear.
I suppose we go to the Barvin then.
God.
you do?
Make our way there. Make our way.
It's terrible. Alright. Yeah. And yeah, you guys head to the Barvin itself. As you guys do so, she has not arrived yet, but you hear the door slowly begin to open as most of you all see a tiefling woman in a black dress with just like these robotic arms behind her begin to walk in. And as she does, here's your chart.
Oh shit,
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
that's terrifying. I love it.
And as she does, Red Menace, your blood turns cold as you look at her. Because you are absolutely certain that the Titan is wearing the face of your friend Lucia.
Oh. Skin puppet.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that's not great.
I don't like this. This is just silence. Done.
Oh, and to start this out, I suppose let's go ahead and start off with this before you all try any sort of funny business. As she snaps her fingers, you all hear a whirring in the distance. As you guys can see through the window, the Titan begin to stir. And as it stirs, you can see that from one of its arms, a giant machine gun begins to emerge. As the Barvin is suddenly peppered with gunfire around you all. It just blows off most of the front of this place.
Yeah, I'm gonna dive in front of as many people of the party that I can.
Yeah, you do so. The bullets, thankfully, were only warning shots around all of you, but the message is pretty clear. As she says, "Now, I don't believe I approved you all winning my race here. So, who are you? And why are you entering the arena fight?"
Is the death race not a test of skill?
She smirks as she says, it's more of a test of connections, really. And I suppose that's a skill in and of itself.
Well, I suppose I will start.
Glancing at everyone who's just like sort of stunned.
Well, we're new in town. We're map makers.
We are
Memento
the map
Mori was our
makers.
team name. Didn't know it was wrong to, come here and destroy everyone that works for you.
I'm sorry, we were simply better than everyone.
Yeah.
She narrows her eyes as she says, I see. Well, no matter. Because, you all wouldn't be stupid enough to actually challenge me to a fight for the city, would you?
That's where you're wrong.
We're exactly not stupid enough.
Sorry, I'm recovering. I'm
Yeah,
feeling good
sorry.
now.
What if us murk Elena before she actually outs us?
I
You
think
actually
Elena,
say Elena?
no, she is dead silent for this whole fucking thing.
But yeah, we're actually planning on doing that. I mean, money's pretty nice, but ruling a city has a
She-
charm to it.
Raises an eyebrow as she says, You actually think you can withstand judgment protocol?
What's that?
God damn it.
God.
You might not be able to tell, but I am not from around here, so that sounds so foreign.
God.
That's French.
Is that French?
As she gives like a bit of a grin, she says, Judgment protocol is my special little weapon. If I wanted you guys completely obliterated off of the face of this planet, along with the entire district that we're standing in, I could do so. All it would
And
take
what would
is...
prevent it from destroying you as well?
she smirks as she says, "You haven't gotten a real good look at the Titan, have you?" As she just goes on to say, "I mean, this body right here, it's certainly nice for getting around and stretching my legs. But where I really am is in that." As she kind of points behind her at the Titan, you can see that she's pointing towards this yellow orb. As she says, "Now, when I look at you all, I see a very special kind of stupid. Because I'm about to tell you that me inside of that yellow orb is completely impervious to any sort of damage. And I don't mean impervious as in you guys can find some kind of way around this if you try hard enough, or with the power of hope and friendship you guys can maybe get your way through. I mean, that yellow orb is where I am, and I am completely impervious to any damage."
Alright.
I think I didn't quite hear you. Where are you again? Are you in the yellow orb? Okay, yellow orb. Okay.
Good.
And where exactly is the arena in which we'll be fighting?
Yeah, she sticks a thumb towards, we'll say here, as she says, "Right over there. But please, by all means, if you guys want to fight against me, I mean, ticket sales will be through the roof, which is why I'm deciding to keep you guys alive. Though, if you want my advice, if you were smart, you'll win the arena fights, and you'll take the money, and you'll go."
If
Though-
you were in the orb, how are you here now?
She sighs as she touches her chin. She begins to grip at something as she pulls the face off. You can see robotic servos and machinery in this uncanny way, just like whirring around underneath there, like one of those
Yes,
horrible
well, that
like
is quite
dental
terrible.
robots.
Go ahead and put that back on now.
Yeah, please put that back on.
She puts the face back on.
This is just a...
Yes, just a lovely little puppet generously donated to me.
Hi.
Well, alright.
Would you say, Red Menace?
Who donated the puppets, if I may ask?
I can't even remember her name. Loretta?
Oh,
whatever.
couldn't have been important then.
Yes,
Alright,
yes.
I guess we'd better go plan then.
Yeah. You have a crowd to entertain.
Plenty of money to bring in from tickets.
As she smiles as she says, "Yeah, and honestly, just so thankful for all the buzz you guys have done around here. I mean, as soon as you guys entered the race, ticket sales doubled, and honestly, I smell a very profitable year after I crushed you guys. But anyways, that was just my warning to you all."
Could I detect thoughts?
Yeah. You guys detect thoughts on her.
Just surface thoughts. I'm not diving. I ain't.
You ain't fucking with that?
Yeah.
I know.
What, this creature
Alright.
with obvious legendary resistances? You aren't having to make it
You
save
know.
throw?
Yep. As you dive into to surface thoughts here, let's see. There's no save or anything like that. You just know surface thoughts, right?
Mm-hmm. Only surface thoughts. If I wanted to go in, they'd have to make a save.
Okay.
And they'd know.
You can tell one thing for sure. As she thinks of like herself in this yellow orb, she's not lying about the fact that it is impervious to any kind of damage.
Mm-hmm.
However, I will give you this additional piece of information. As like she thinks about the general sort of like way she controls the mech, everything else around the orb is just kind of peripherals that technically can be destroyed. Only this orb by itself cannot be destroyed.
Okay,
That's all I'll give you, though.
that's some good information, but that's not what I was searching for, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I was searching for if she recognized Red Menace, like, at all. I know he's purple, but, you know.
If that was a thought, it doesn't seem to cross her mind prominently.
Okay.
We have to dive deeper in order to confirm
Right.
that.
Okay, cool. That was actually it, but now I have some good information that I will say when she is gone.
All right. Do you guys have anything else you'd like to say to her, or
You're a punk bitch. No.
do it?
Well, I am sure these battles will be... I'm sure, they will be something to remember.
She smiles as she says, "Of course," as she walks off.
I turn to the group.
The Red Menace, you seemed rather rattled by that.
Is she gone?
She is gone, yeah. As you can see, the front of the Barvin is just also gone too.
Oof.
That was Lucia.
Oh no.
Oh.
The body, at least.
Do you think maybe what Dea saw in her vision, that the doctor has done to her as well?
I think that's a possibility for sure.
We need to find the Ashura.
Why?
We haven't stopped what Dea saw yet. Anyway, Lane had something to say?
Oh, so I was kind of listening to her brain. She's right about the orb being, you know, it cannot be broken. But the things around the orb, the peripherals, whatever you want to call them, those can be.
I don't suppose the orb itself has as much destructive ability without the rest of the suit.
Exactly.
Without everything else, it's just a fucking orb.
But, you know, I just thought that might help. But, you know, Ashura is very much important, and I'm so sorry, Red Menace, about everything.
No, that was good information, Elena. Good job.
Where's my sticker? No, I'm kidding.
Menace picks up a price tag and puts on Elena's forehead.
Perfect. Wait, how much is it?
Like 50 cents.
Sick.
Amazing. Right?
It keeps you going.
Well,
We will be
I
sleeping.
suppose it's time to plan for a fight then.
What were you saying, Dave?
I was gonna say, we just need to remember one thing. Memento mori. She will die.
Yes.
Roll credits.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to end tonight's session.
She will die. Done.
She will
die.
Done.
Oh god.
Damn.
Well, fuck, yep.
That was a
That's
really
horrible
cool
thing.
session, though.